to Trust the Profits Monday Night Lights, featuring live racing coverage and handicapping at Assiniboia Downs. Be sure to visit the player portal at asdowns.com for free racing programs, weekly special events, and links to other great information.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Lights here, hosted by Trust the Profits. I'm Jessica Tugwell, and I've got a whole cast here with me tonight. To start out, we got Sean, Tim, and Keith all here. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. How you doing, my friend?
Pleasure to be
Good.
with you all.
Excited
and excited to talk all these horses with you all.
Ready to celebrate Canada Day while rooting.
Yeah.
I've got my red in the background for Canada Day, and I've got my USA jersey as the U.S. soccer team is about to take the field and they need to win to advance.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go.
Big matchup coming up. Yep.
Big one.
Love it. We got Frank
I got
in the
my
chat.
ASD hat. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, everybody's all decked out.
We got Todd.
We got Todd and Travis. How y'all doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in and joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hope everybody had a great weekend.
Trevor.
A couple of good
Absolutely.
races, especially out at Churchill. Some fun ones this weekend.
Yeah, it was some really competitive racing there with the Stephen Foster and Kings Barnes. I mean, he really showed he really took a step forward there, and with the Pimlico Special, the top two finishers. So that was impressive.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think it helped us get a good view on what the older male division might look like, because all year it seemed so muddy. And speaking of muddy, according to the track feed, Assiniboia Downs is muddy. They showed a shot of the track, and it did not look that muddy. But we'll keep an eye on that, monitor the track surface situation, because it caught all of us by surprise. So
Lies, all lies.
So we'll see.
I mean, I don't know if they had like a little mini squall or something come through, but yeah, it just literally it says fast all here, but now it's showing muddy, which is odd.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll take a look. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
I
the
hope you're
graphics
right,
guy
Rick.
is off his game.
I'm wondering if there was a mistake there somewhere, or if there's just suddenly track condition got updated. So yeah, Rick, I hope that between the four of us, we should be all right. Tim absolutely carried the show last week.
Oh, that was an amazing showing by Tim. Yeah.
Oh my
hopefully
God.
we can keep up that momentum.
Tim bought 5 houses down in Myrtle Beach with everything he won last week. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, they picked him up right on the jet, airliner right away.
Exactly. Yeah, his own thing was amazing.
Right.
You flatter me.
Well, you must have had
Frank
a fun
points
time,
out
Tim. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, we had a good week.
Yeah, no, last week was Tim really did great. No, yeah, how was Myrtle Beach, Tim?
It was really nice. We had there was one night to where for 1 hour we got a thunderstorm, and we sat on our balcony and watched lightning hitting the water.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
But
awesome.
it only lasted about an hour, and then other than that, we had some clouds in and out a couple of times, but we had a really nice time. You can see I'm a little red here in the face. It's like
yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Love it.
Good evening, Scott. Thanks for
Yeah.
checking
Hey,
in.
Scotty.
What's going on?
Our Red Sox got a
Kevin.
win.
everybody got their stable in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
everybody, make sure you get
Let
your
me try to
stable
get
tool
mine in here real quick. I think
Yeah,
I got
It was
5
a
minutes.
really-
2 minutes.
It was a
Thanks.
really interesting night for Stable Duel with those small fields. 2 5-horse fields in the first 2 races, a couple of 6-horse fields. It's made it an interesting challenge for Stable Duel. I mean, I think that I would have to, if you had to put an over-under on what percentage of stables took Drop a Caribou in the 6th race, it has to be like 90%, right?
Yeah, I would think so. There's Victor. Victor won the Stable Duel game last week.
Yeah, 20-1 morning
you?
line. I know that horse was. Sometimes you see that where the morning line just doesn't make sense to you at all.
Shh, stables aren't locked yet.
Oh, here we go. See, I told you I moved the needle. Right there, you go.
There's Basil.
That's funny. I'm actually just going to lock mine in right now.
Lock it in.
Oh, yeah, they do have the free one. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Basil. Aside from, like I said, I think Drop a Caribou is the one free 20-1 shot on the morning line, the Assiniboia gift. There were a lot of horses that, like, pretty good morning lines, like logical favorites. There weren't a ton of horses that looked like they were going to be total overlays on the morning line.
Right.
Horses that were 6-5, 8-5, kind of seemed like in this first race. Although the favoritism has shifted to the outside horse, the 5. I thought the 2 Chatter Up looked pretty tough in this first race, for example, and I think I ended up just skipping this one.
Yeah.
Pull that up.
I got 4 minutes to get mine in here.
Look at the betting public. They're a little bit, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I felt like I couldn't really take any horse in here, because I feel like any of these horses could win and any of them could run last.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like a good stable duel race to me, where the longest shot was 8-1. You're still spending a decent little chunk of money on pretty much anybody else.
Jessica, you're not supposed to give everybody all the tips until after it's locked.
There you go. Hey, they're all watching us right now, trying to squeeze in that stable,
Exactly. No, we're moving the lines here on in stable duel.
Hey, how about Victor, huh? He played twice and won both.
Right.
Look at that.
Well done.
Well done,
What's your
wow, well done.
In stable duel, Victor? I'm not sure that I am familiar with your stable. Now that it's so much harder to follow people, of course.
Lightning Bolt, I think. Something Bolt. Thunderbolt.
Oh, okay.
Lightning
there
Bolt.
You go.
All right. Keep an eye out. I like to try and keep track of who's following along in the lounge in stable duel so that we can shout everybody out. Not in tonight. Cool. All right. Now I know.
Here we go. I got like
Uncle
3 minutes left here.
Uncle Sully, hello to your dad.
Thanks for.
Hi, Dad.
Thanks. Hi, Uncle Sully's dad.
Oh, how you doing?
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Victor's giving us a break tonight. He didn't put in a stable duel team. He's going
right. Everybody else will get a chance.
We appreciate it, Victor.
The betting in this first race has been pretty even across the board. Did anybody have a particularly strong opinion in here?
I like the 4 in stable duel only because it was 5 horses. But
yeah,
no. But what do you call it? Yeah, I love the fact that with the 2 Chatter Up, this trainer is very good at bringing a second time out. That gives 12-1. He broke a step slow, moved up. And I think this horse could be a major player in this short field second time out.
That was where I landed also on the 2, just as the horse who's shown speed second time out. I thought that the 3 was a little bit interesting just because he basically didn't run at all first time out. But, at 3-1 on the morning line, that wasn't a horse I wanted anything to do with in stable duel. But at 6-1 here, that's a decent price. I mean, hard to really get any kind of read on the horse. It's very much there's a pretty big drop. She's dropping down from a $20,000 maiden special weight, but also didn't do any running in there at all. So kind of a wild card. I think it's the 3 in here. Yeah, and then I liked, right. Yeah, no, if it's muddy, then the 3 there with a Tomlinson figure of 450.
Oh,
should absolutely relish any off going if that's to be believed.
Case,
get a look at them.
Yeah, the betting's not showing it for some reason. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. They always talk about those. Yeah, the Tomlinson figures are always something that people swear by with the wet form. Yep.
Yeah, they tend to be pretty good, I think. I don't know exactly how they're calculated, but they're basically an indication of how well a horse, based on their breeding, should be suited to a given surface. And generally, anything over 400 is pretty dang good. So
Yeah.
to have 450, that's getting up there for some of the highest Tomlinson figures I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's see what this
The
track
track
looks
does
like
not
here.
look
It
particularly
doesn't
Yeah,
look
looks like-
muddy. There's a little
Yeah.
water there in the walkway, but but not
Yeah.
nothing
don't think
too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look too muddy to me. I mean, maybe like yeah, it's tough. We'll see, I
Like
guess, when they
drying
run.
out or something. You can see
Yeah.
Yeah.
outside
There's
there.
a little water on the
I wouldn't
inside,
lean-
but not too much on the.
Yeah, I
That
don't
doesn't
know that
look
I would
like a
lean
really
too
good
heavily
thing.
on your off-track handicapping
No. Yeah.
here. I wouldn't change whatever opinions you came
Right.
with
Yeah.
based on the track condition here.
No. Kevin, you're right. The Celtics brought out the money today, and then the owner put the team up for sale.
Yeah, Sean, I was gonna say you could buy the Celtics now,
Yep.
after the championship.
Yep.
That's funny. 2 weeks later,
Get a
they
group
put the
together.
team up for sale. Odd.
Yeah. No better time than when you're the iron's
Right.
hot.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for checking in. And Frank,
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm not sure that we're it's Assiniboia Downs. I don't know that we're going to get anybody hanging on the rail here. But I see what you mean there. It will be interesting to see. I mean, usually at Assiniboia Downs, if you can stick to the inside, you win anyway. If you
Yeah.
have horse and you manage to stay inside, because everyone else is going 4 or 5 wide.
Yeah, I mean that's
Tim,
actually.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
go
forgot
ahead.
what
Yeah.
you all-
You want to go first, Tim or Sean?
I was just seeing what Tim or Keith.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a pretty strong opinion in this race, actually. I do like the number
Yeah,
one
go for it.
Happy Birthday. And, with this horse, this is actually, I mean, it's interesting that the number one is the only horse not dropping to this maiden claiming level. And if you look at Happy Birthday, the race on June 17th, I remember this race. This horse was fractious in the gate and then just broke slow. So that was a throwaway race. And you see this at Assiniboia Downs. I mean, they have the horse run a week later now on June 24th. And I like this race. I remember watching this horse run. He kind of saved, ground at the rail. And, I just thought there was something more there to give. I mean, it does say rallied modelly, but I mean, I like the one. I think the one actually could take a step forward here. And now, as I say that, the price is 5-2. So I like the one on top. And then I would do an exacta key box maybe, or just an exacta of the one over the 2-5. Those are the three horses I kind of zeroed in on here.
Tim?
I like it.
Yeah, Keith and I are on the same horse. I mean, here's the thing. I look at this too. He started out in a maiden claimer, 6250. The one horse started in a $19,000 maiden special weight, so didn't do much there, and they dropped him down the claiming level a little higher than this level at 93.75. Had a good third, while not really. As Keith was mentioning, not really having the best of trips, hasn't really had a great trip yet. So this is a third start. You guys know I'm a sucker for a third start. The horse is improving, and I don't see anything that tells me this two is that much better than the one. As a matter of fact, I like the one better. They started the two at a lower level. And yeah, that was okay at 6 furlongs and tired. But if either one of these, if both of these improve from their last start, I think the 1 is above the 2. As a matter of fact, I put the 2 third because I like the 5 second best. Again, same thing, a little more experienced horse. The horse has had a few races here, kind of all just above this level here. So settling in more or less the same level, but connections coming right back. I just think that this is another horse that when you look at the races and what the horse has done, I like the 5 as much as I do the 2, and with what I thought the odds would be, I like the 5 more. From a stable duel perspective, as Jessica was kind of talking about, I thought it was so close between 1, 2, and 5 that I didn't want anything to do with any of them. I took the 4 as a free square in a 5-horse race, as Sean was mentioning, and we'll move on to race 2 and try to catch something.
Love it. I like the strategy there. So for our official bet, do we want to key box the 1 with the 2, 5 and an exacta? Don't know what those are paying right now.
Let's
if it's
take
even
a look
worth
at the probables. Yeah. Let's look. Let's take a look here. I think we got a minute. Yep. Let's see.
The 2's exactas are lower than the 1's, which is interesting.
Yeah, we're looking at the lowest one right now is $7 for $1. So
yeah.
Tough one. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, it's now the money's actually poured in on the 1.
That's right in the range of
yeah.
And the 5 2, the 5's exactas are lower than the. Look at the 1's. Oh, this is double. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. I actually used the 4 in stable duel just because this horse could hopefully get at least 4th place here just with the closing style. So I just said, why not, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting that both of them picked the 2 on top. You know what I'm saying? Which is just interesting because, you know, because you guys brought up a very compelling argument for the 1, you know, and the 5, you know, but
yeah, I just love the 1, and now evidently the public does too. So
yeah,
8 to 5. I did not expect the 1 to be the favorite.
So the 2's exact is lower than the 1. Yeah.
When you're looking at the exactas, the favorite in the exacta pool is 2.
1 would be I think the 1 is the horse to key.
Yeah. Because you never know. I mean, this money could flip at the last second, you know, to the 2. I still think the 2 is going to be the favorite.
It just did, but you know, barely 8 to 5, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Do we play just like a little $2 exacta key box, or do we start with 5?
Yeah, like 1 over the 2
1
5.
with the 2 5.
You know? Yeah.
I think the $2 makes a lot of sense for early on. Let's see how the track's playing, see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we play at $2, 1 with the 2 5, you know, that's going to cost us $8 for a first official bet. I think that's good.
Yeah. Mitchell is predicting that the 4 will get into the super high 5 this race.
Oh well, I like your chances.
Bold prediction.
Love it.
I love it.
I'm interested to see how this 3 runs now that you said that Tomlinson.
It does look a little bit rainy, you know, like they're all wearing rain jackets. So
yes,
that's interesting.
Yeah, maybe it is a little bit of a drying out type of track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks like there's some moisture in the track. I don't see muddy, but it looks like there's some water there.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, maybe in Canada, do they not call it a wet fest or something? You see that, right?
No,
wet fest.
Usually they're pretty on that, you know. I mean, Woodbine's synthetic, so it doesn't matter, you know. But you know,
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell with just the video exactly what the condition there is, but I guess we'll see how things play.
I like when to watch them run because I think you can tell a little better with the kickback.
Yeah. Rodney in the house.
How you doing?
Interesting announcement today that starting in 26-27, Belmont's going to run 3 months on the synthetic at Belmont.
And Horse Racing X has lost its mind.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same
Right.
thing, Tim. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it was just crazy reading all those comments.
It's ridiculous. People, and well, we'll talk about it after this race that are loading up.
There we go.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy to me I thought somebody had a good perspective. You wouldn't really want it. And Mike, to answer your question, I will be at Turfway whatever day Dennis is not.
Next up, the 6-5 favorite, Chatter Up, is in.
I think we're on a little bit of a delay because actually the race is off already.
Oh, it is?
Is that volume level good?
Walks up and in.
But nobody,
Yeah.
please, if you're watching
no.
the race,
Two left to
don't
load.
say who won.
Bad
If
Pixie.
we're, thank you.
Yeah, we're probably on like a 30-second
Yeah.
delay right now or something. Yeah.
Okay.
We can.
Yeah. So if anyone knows,
Now
just
just waiting on Jackie.
Someone else
tell
might
us
want
to the
to
outside.
share after this race.
Oh.
The
My
field
internet
is
might
set.
still
They're at
being
the
a little
post.
bit.
And they're
off.
off.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Breaking a little slow was Chatter Up, but has recovered nicely. In the middle, BB Bear is going to show speed today. In between horses, Chatter Up. On the inside, Happy Birthday. Right there also. Settled back in fourth is going to be Jackie Thunder and Bad Pixie, the early trailer. About a length and a half from first to last. 24 won the opening quarter. On the inside, Happy Birthday. Bad Pixie.
Bad Pixie.
Running and now takes
There
over
you
the
go.
lead.
Bad Pixie.
On the outside, back to second. Happy Birthday. Chatter Up in third. And rallying from the back,
One's not
Jackie's
quitting,
Thunder
but-
with BB Bear, the trailer. 47-4, the half mile. They hit the head of the lane. And Happy Birthday now takes over as the leader on the far outside. Jackie's Thunder has all the run.
Hold second here.
Jackie's Thunder
Hold
goes
second,
on
one,
by.
hold second,
A
one.
16th of a mile to go. Jackie's Thunder.
Boom, winner, chicken dinner.
Four. Happy birthday
Only winners in the
second.
All right.
Nice.
Good.
It's gonna pay
start.
better than you think too. Nice.
We'll
Well,
take that.
Here's
Horse
here's
did
the
get bet down.
Here's the crazy thing is the 5 went off as the favorite. We were talking 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, and the 5 ends up going off as the favorite. But the actual favorite in the exacta pool was 2-5. So we got the 5-1, which is paying $15.30 for $2.
Perfect.
Wow.
That's a great start right there. Wow.
So
All right.
we'll profit
Yeah.
$7.30. Not bad. Good start. And if you had Bad
Take that.
Pixie, a nice third.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome for stable
Right.
duel.
No,
There
absolutely.
you go.
Exactly. And there's that Chatter Up. I had the horse third, finishes fourth.
Yeah, I actually used in stable duel. I used the 1. I just did it really quick at the end. I did the 1 and the 4 actually in the first race, so that's not too bad.
And it's clearly
There
not
you
money
go. Yeah.
because BB.
Good
It's clearly
start.
not money because BB Bear would have won by 10 lengths if it was muddy and sloppy.
Right.
Cool. Wow,
Very
they
good.
already went official. So that was pretty
Yeah.
quick right there. Yeah.
Oh,
And nice
perfect.
exact.
Let's see what,
Yeah,
we got
15
there with
30.
our exact.
Nice.
Amazing exacta.
15
For that.
30.
Yeah, for a
Awesome.
5-horse field. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. With 2 of the logical horses in there. So we'll take that.
Absolutely.
And maybe for the
Okay, well,
feed, if someone else can share their feed so that
Yeah, I can do it.
we're
I can do it. Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
a little more
Yep. I can do it. Not a problem.
awesome.
Awesome.
There we
Yeah,
go.
right.
Just to
So
keep-
just like we said, that'll be at $13.30. So on an $8 wager, that'll was it? Oh, I'm sorry. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. I actually bet it in real life too, so that was good.
Oh,
Good
did
job.
Nice.
awesome.
Okay. 2.
so that'll be $7.30 profit and just the bankroll.
Cool.
There you go, my friends.
It's a good profit for a first race too. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, we all had a good points. I mean, I think we all agreed that the one was a good key horse there, and it proved to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tim was spot on about the two. I thought that being the speed horse was kind of my big angle there, but you pointed out the class angle, and that
when he didn't
really
get the lead, I knew
came
we were
late.
done. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did, Rodney.
So
yeah, dancing in Dixie, out of the clouds.
So yeah, the big news that dropped today was the Tapeta Winters on the synthetic at Belmont.
Yep.
And yeah,
and that's actually
Twitter
yeah
went crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I read it for a little while, and then it looks like it's going to be the first season of the new Belmont, so it's going to be interesting. And then people were putting up polls like, "Are you still going to bet it?" I mean, it's like, "Are you serious?" I'm still going to bet it.
So here's an interesting read that if you follow him on X, Andy Serling, working there at NYRA, and Andy's about as polarizing as it gets in the horse racing community. So many people dislike the guy, but he said that he's as critical of NYRA, some of the NYRA things as much as anybody, but he said he's heard nothing, as I was reading through it, just to paraphrase kind of shortly, because it was pretty long, that people have been complaining about NYRA winter racing for a long time. And this is going to give them the opportunity to improve NYRA winter racing. And now they're complaining more than they did before. And it's like, you just can't please some people. And I just think it's interesting. I don't think it's a bad deal at all to be able to go to the Tapeta in the winter.
And this will be fascinating for me, being that all my friends at Woodbine, right? They usually stop in December, and those horses usually don't run because it's a long way to Turfway for a lot of those connections, right?
Sure.
Toronto to New York is manageable. I'm just saying it's still a hike, but it's still manageable. A lot of those horses may end up running longer, because Belmont will be synthetic.
A really good point.
That will be interesting to see how that kind of plays out, because that will be like a winter home for Woodbine horses.
I was thinking the same thing, Sean, that it might improve their fields with getting horses come down that would normally take the winter off.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, absolutely. And to Andy's point in that thread, I mean, okay, sure, you can bet 5-horse fields on the dirt in the winter at Aqueduct. Or you might get 8-9 horse fields or more even on the synthetic at Belmont now. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I think handicappers will get used to it. I think horsemen will get used to it. I think it makes a lot of sense. And it's going to be, December to February, maybe March or something.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going full synthetic all the time. We're never going to see dirt racing in New York again. Like it just makes sense with the wintering of the track.
Yeah. It makes total sense.
We have an interesting person joining us tonight. Our buddy Ed Rawfield, a legend on Twitter, and some of people don't even know it. He is not only the Twitter person for Jimmy Jerkins Racing when he's stateside. Obviously, he's overseas right now. But he is also known as the Juba Colt Twitter.
Oh, there we go.
One of the most famous Twitter handles of all time of horses. Exactly.
A true star. Thanks for tuning in, Ed.
Cool. We have a celebrity in the house.
And Victor points out also, look at Gulfstream, where you're not getting these races that are just decimated by scratches over the Tapeta now.
Yeah.
And
good point. Yeah.
People, I think this was also one of Andy's points. People just don't like change.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. No.
And that's what it comes down to a lot.
The
I think
new Belmont's horrible. The new track is horrible. Everything is horrible. But we're exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they're always gonna find something. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're also going to get, like I think you mentioned before, you're going to get full fields. I mean, sometimes, I don't know. I think, like you said, you're going to keep horses up north more, and it's going to be interesting. I think it could be for, even better betting opportunities, obviously, with these races.
Yeah, between Woodbine, Presque Isle, I mean, like, these horses could all go winter, which is huge.
And I mean, if everybody is as terrible at handicapping it as they seem to think they are, then you might get some really nice prices.
Yeah, exactly. My friend Molly Jo Rosen this weekend, right? Woodbine had 5 stakes races. She picked all 5 correct.
I saw that. She was
Wow.
on fire this weekend.
He was on fire. So kudos to my girl Molly. Just showing how it's done.
Great work. Wow.
Hey, to answer an obvious question here, absolutely not. All they're talking about is running some of the winter races on the Chipeta, on the synthetic. The normal race schedule will resume in the spring, and all of the Derby preps will stay on the dirt. They'll still have dirt and turf racing like normal during the rest of the year. They're just talking about improving winter racing in Naira because of the winter conditions up there.
Right. We're talking December to February, folks. This is not, this has nothing to do with March, April, and May.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you had people saying like this is the end of New York racing and everything. I couldn't. I was on my lunch break and I was like, this is unbelievable. Yeah.
It's good comic relief.
It is. Yeah.
It's funny.
I'm with Basil here. I don't get the anti-synthetic talk either. You look at right here on Trust the Profits, what we've done with Woodbine and our success over at Turfway. We've had good success with the sheets that the Profits put out at Gulfstream Park. So I don't get it either. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about when I talk about the Trust the Profits sheets that they put out, if you look at the scroll on the bottom, payhip.com/Trust the Profits, go check out the premium membership information. They guarantee a few sheets a week, and it's almost at least one a day. But good winning percentage on a lot of those tracks that we were playing, and with our success at Turfway last year, a lot of that information was on those sheets.
Yeah, Mike W definitely likes the synthetic down there.
Yeah, we actually had Mike reporting live for us on Trust the Profits.
Yeah,
so that was quite the broadcast. So kudos, Mike.
Yeah, Victor.
And Victor, that would be the assumption.
December to February, there's no turf racing in New York, so it'll be all tapping.
Yeah, he's probably asking. I'm thinking he's asking about what about the rest of the year, and I think that's to be determined.
Yeah.
Well, they also have.
We're still talking a couple of winters away.
Yeah.
2026.
My guess is, Victor, from March to May, it will go on the main track. It won't go on the poly track.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have too many big trainers there.
I would agree.
Exactly. Yeah. And then now they're going to introduce at Santa Anita. They actually have a new poly track too.
Yeah.
And so that's caused a little bit of chatter. That track actually looks really nice. So I'm sure New York's going to do a good job too. But I think Santa Anita track looks kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. We got the horses in the paddock. Good.
So let's see if Stable Duel updated here.
Yeah, and I thought it would probably end up affecting those races like the Jerome, Remsen, and Withers. Don't know for certain, but likely those would end up being on the synthetic based on what we've heard today. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. We've had plenty of Derby preps on poly track that end up working out, some that don't. But these horses will also, with those being early season preps, I feel like that's preferable to, a horse where at least easier to handicap than a horse who's coming into the Derby off like the Jeff Ruby.
Yeah.
And hasn't ever run on anything else. These horses that are prepping in New York will have the chance to run, in later races like the wood over the traditional dirt, and you won't have to have as many question marks, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Oh yeah, looks like
right.
Stable Duel did update here, and hope you guys are off to a good start. So we got the first race in the books here. I'm in 11th right now in the free game.
Very good.
Good start.
I'm in 102nd in the pregame. But like half the field, I just took the 4 and like half the field.
Yeah, exactly. You're just
Yeah.
exactly. You're just warming up. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Now in the $5 game, I'm in second.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to think outside the box a little bit in the free game, because it's like, if you do what everybody thinks going to do, then it's kind of hard to separate yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did in the $5 game. What you did here, Keith. I took the 1 and the 4.
Nice. So very good start.
Yeah, I ended up skipping that first race, but I did eventually, as I was getting down to the end and had a little bit of money, I did take the 4 in this race. The horse, just one of my favorite angles at Assiniboia is a horse trying to find their level at Assiniboia and dropping in class second or third time at the track. And this horse fits that bill. His numbers are very competitive. He had trouble last time out, in addition to it being at the $10,000 level. So I thought that the 4 Mountain Breeze in here looked pretty tough. Tim, what did you think in here?
I like the 4. I had the 4 second. I think it's interesting here. The horse comes up to Assiniboia after running on the turf for a few races, but I don't think the horse is without a chance at all. Prairie Drifter in here is a horse that, if you look, Rashad Knight's getting back on board, who we all have been talking about how well this young guy is riding. Won last time out at this level. Coming back, I think the horse, if you go back and look at that race, that was comfortable and really just drew out, was leading by 5, and then just coasted to the end. I think the horse is really going to relish the 2 turns here, and really has a strong chance in here. And these two have only been together for that 1 win. So Knights has only ridden for Gittins 1 time, and he's 1 for 1. So I definitely think that there's a chance there. Can You Hear Me Now is a horse that I think is a lot better than what the odds are showing right now. And although it's kind of even across the board here, but this is another horse with Bino for Gittins. So Gittins has 2 in here. I think it's another horse with a chance to finish underneath. I don't mind the 1 hole as much in these 7 furlong races around 2 turns. So third time out last time, almost got there, but has faced much better horses. And I think that the 7 furlongs is a race that, again, this is another one that I think is going to benefit from the distance. So I had 2, 4, and 1.
Love it.
Nice.
Keith?
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. I saw the race maybe a little different here. I actually I like the 3 as my top pick. Bronze 1 here. Second time at Assiniboia, and I watched the replay of the first race at Assiniboia. Now, we were just talking about that synthetic form. I mean, some of these races at Golden Gate, they look pretty strong against this field here. And with Bronze 1, he was in tight in that race, and then still kind of came up a little bit for the show dough there. So I liked what I saw there. It was kind of one of my main angles tonight, was kind of seeing if a horse can progress forward, especially second time here at Assiniboia. So I put the 3 on top. I do agree with Tim a lot on the 2. I think Prairie Drifter is going to love the stretch out here. And this horse, the 2, won nice, drew out, very classy last time, showed good speed. So thought the 2 was a big player here. And with the 4, I respect the drop with the 4. I just was going to try to beat this horse just based on some speed figures that hopefully these other horses like the 3 and the 2 and the 1 I thought was a player too, maybe more underneath though. So I was looking at a 3-2. I'm gonna maybe box those 2 horses.
Yeah,
I like it. Sean?
well, I'm surprised Tim has gone away from one of his major handicapping angles here in Assiniboia. Right, the 3 in between races has not 1, not 2, but 3 workouts in between races, nice. Which is usually Tim's go-to. Exactly. But no, I was on the 3 here. I did like the fact that this horse, and I watched the replay too, he just looked short versus Yola. You know what I'm saying? Yola at that time was on what like that. It was like a 3rd win in a row. This year won, and it just looked like the race was just too short for them. You know, and it seems like going out. Wendy Anderson is one of the best. Now, obviously, Antonio's not on here, which gives you a little bit of an interesting question. But go around 2 turns. Wendy's one of the best 7 furlong trainers at Assiniboia. So the fact that she's stretching this horse out from 5, which I thought was way too short, to 7, that maybe thinks, and she may be giving this Peterson, because you never know with these barns. Sometimes that they're helping people out or getting them some wins or trying to get them some wins. So I thought this horse was ultra live here at going to 7 furlongs. I'm exactly what stretches 3, 4, 1.
I like it. So how do we think we approach this race from a betting standpoint here? I don't have a strong enough opinion to really provide a whole lot of input in this one, to be honest.
What do you think?
I feel like I tend to lean more of the horses you guys were talking about. I tend to prefer the 3 to the 2, I think. Although, I mean, I worry about the distance for the 2 a little bit. He has that big win in the Buffalo, of course, as a 2-year-old. Yep. But every other 2-turn race aside from that was pretty abysmal. Although they were also, a lot of them, against tougher. So I don't know if that's the thought process, is that those races were just too tough for him. And I mean, this is obviously the cheapest he's ever run this distance at.
You know, that's exactly why I completely faded the 3. I don't like the 3 at all in here. And especially at Assiniboia, to take off the reason, Sean, to me, that the horse had 3 works is, why the heck has the horse been off since 20 May at Assiniboia, where they run every week? And then I look back at this horse's running lines, and he's had 2 2-turn races at a mile. So a little longer, but when those were the most recent ones that the only ones that I saw, and those were this horse's worst races. I don't think this horse wants 2 turns at all. And that's why I was a complete fade on the 3. So somebody else can make the call as far as the wager. I'm just providing more input, but that's just the way I saw it. The horse, I get it, but to me, even if you look at that last race, and it was the first race since January, but the horse showed a little bit on a 5 furlong and then backed up pretty good in the stretch there. But to me, when I looked at those 2-turn races and how bad they were, finishing the horse's worst performance, beaten 8th of 8 by 22 1/4 lengths and 7 of 7 by 14 3/4 lengths, I'm like, this horse didn't want 2 turns.
Definitely fair.
Good point.
Valid points. This is a tough one. I mean, personally, I would skip this race. Just because I don't have enough of an opinion. But the odds are pretty even across the board, where it feels like, I haven't looked at like exacta probables or anything, but
we're getting close.
Tim, who's your number 1 horse?
I love the 2 in here. I like the 2 a lot. I mean, to me, if I was betting, I would key the 2 with the 1 and the 4, but because I'm fading the 3. But I
That's
can
not
see if
bad.
you guys want to include
No.
include the 3, I'm okay with that as well. But
It's too small. It's too small a race, you know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do 3 at that point. So
No.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll let it ride. Yeah,
I like the 2
That
with
works
the
for
1
me.
4.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, I would do the 2. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, but unfortunately, 2-4 right now are your 2 favorites. So,
Oh yeah.
but I was trying to look here. I was trying to look and see what the probables are right now.
2-4 and 4-2 are both looking like $10 right now, from what I can
Yeah,
see.
it's not horrible. I mean, 20 for 2. So,
No. And we're
So
only
it look-
betting what, 4? And we're only betting
I'd say we just do a $5 exacta key box 2 with the 1-4.
there you go.
Let's
That
do it.
cost us,
All right.
that cost us
Works
20
for me.
bucks, and we're up a little bit already.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
let's let it ride.
You want to type
I'm
that
actually
up?
gonna bet. I'm actually gonna bet a little something different on the side. So hopefully the lounge. I mean, not the lounge. Hopefully the Monday Night Lights crew here we cash. So if not, then maybe I'll cash.
Exactly. There we go.
Keep taking the Tim stance.
Hey, Tim profited $500 on that. Oh no, he cashed for everybody last week. So
Yeah, he did.
He did.
yeah, you were giving out. I think you had what 4 out of 5 or something like that in a row.
I don't remember, but it was a good night. We were hot.
Yeah.
You were.
Probably
You
should
were
have
hot.
clipped some highlights, honestly. Didn't think about it.
Here we go. I'm gonna get this in here.
Thank you to everybody for joining tonight. Over 182 people.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Thank y'all for
Yeah.
spending
Thanks
your
to the
Monday nights
like
with
button
us.
too.
Right,
Yes,
cool.
good call. Hit the like button on the stream, and make sure you subscribe over on YouTube so that you don't miss future weeks. We got videos, handicapping content coming out, Thursday Night Lounge,
Yeah.
live betting, so
Definitely.
plenty to check out. Sean, if you want to go ahead and unmute.
Oh yeah.
Got it here. Kurt here. Yeah.
I figured I was doing it. There we go. Out Pony feeling a little frisky in the back there.
Will be the next to go in.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the 5, but I mean the 5 could maybe pick up some pieces late with the closing kick. So we'll see.
Yep.
The 5 is used in 51% of stables for at least 10 points for $3,000.
The question I would ask all the Assiniboia jockeys is, why do you all go 3 wide in a 5-horse field? Or 4-horse fields? Why must you go 3 wide around a turn when it's a 4 or 5-horse field?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm having a little trouble with the Stable Duel app, so it keeps crashing for me. So I'll try a little later.
Take a look and see.
Little forced stop action I've been going through.
It seems to be doing all right for me.
All right, good.
So might be just on your end.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see.
They having trouble with the 2? No. Oh. That was weird.
Bronze one being a little reluctant to load into the starting gate.
Right. Yeah, mine says thank you for participating, but it's just started. Yeah. All right, so we got our official bet in here. We're going to key the 2 over the 1-4. So good luck, everybody in the chat too.
Bronze one
Yes,
is
good
now
luck,
in.
everybody.
Just 2 left to load. Mountain Breeze. And now just waiting on Shirley Sherman. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off.
Right.
Hopping a bit at the start was Bronze One. To the inside, Prairie Drifter. Shows early speed matched on the outside by Bronze One, who recovered nicely after hopping early.
3-1 off as the favorite.
Third, that's
Interesting.
Mountain Breeze with Shirley Sherman. And Can You Hear Me Now, hugging the rail, will be your early trailer. But the leader, still Prairie Drifter.
Shocked the 5 is this close.
Of 25 and 3.
Yeah.
Bronze One in
They're going
between
real
horses,
slow, though, almost
3-1.
26 to the
yeah.
quarter.
Shirley Sherman has been creeping up, then settling back to Mountain Breeze.
He's already asking the 4 here.
And the trailer, Can You Hear Me Now? 4 lengths
This
off
one
it.
saving
3
ground in the
across
back.
Track. Prairie Drifter.
Yeah, gonna need
3
a
is
1 to get
backing
up
up.
here.
Get up 1.
48 and 4, and now opens up by 2. In an all-out drive from second is Bronze One. Shirley Sherman 3 wide, and Can You Hear Me Now?
Wow.
Trip, they hit the head of the lane, and Prairie Drifter is
All right,
now
come on,
up
1.
by 5.
I think.
Bronze One.
It's going to be really close for second.
And Can You Hear Me Now?
I think the 3
With
might
the
get it.
late
It's going to be
rally,
really close.
16th of a mile
Oh,
to go.
what about the
Prairie
winner here?
Drifter, Bronze One, trying to
Woo!
grab the win.
Ah.
Prairie Drifter's gonna
Saved.
take it. Bronze One second
2,
back.
3, 1.
Third to Can You Hear Me Now?
2,
And
3,
fourth
1.
to Shirley Sherman.
Wow.
That was a re-rally there by the 3.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
looked completely out of gas and found another gear
Yeah.
late.
I
The
thought
kid
the
did a
1
nice
was there
job.
for sure.
Same. Yeah, turning into the stretch, I thought the 1 had him easily.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah,
the 2
1
kinda
saved
started
all the
getting a little
ground.
tired.
Stewart's close to number 2, Prairie Drifter.
Yeah.
As your race winner. Second
Every
goes
single
number
time
3,
Kurt says that, I think that he's going to say the stewards have posted an inquiry every single time he
Right.
says that.
You and me both.
Every time
Same
he gets
exact
it.
thought.
25 and 3. The half 48 and 4. 6 furlongs, 114. Time for the 7
All right.
furlongs.
I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and
the
mute.
4 was 5th.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we did it. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. They picked it up a little bit, pace-wise, after
They
going
did,
nearly
yeah,
26
yeah.
seconds. Although they don't have a run-up at Assiniboia, so that's
yeah.
changed for this meet. So that could be
Yeah. But
part of factoring into that.
the one thing I will say to people, and we're all geniuses after the race, you know what I'm saying? But I had the 3 in the stable duel. The one thing with 7 furlongs, I really believe this, Wendy Anderson is Wendy Anderson. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she just knows how to get horses ready for 7 furlongs. Now, I thought the horse was going to stop too, and he came back on to his credit. You know what I'm saying? But she is just she is a must use at 7 furlongs when she puts horses in at 7 furlongs. So she's really good at that distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't usually see that at Assiniboia too. The re-rally like that. That was
No.
interesting.
I
Never
thought-
see
I
that.
thought going completely backwards. Exactly.
Yeah, the 3 started backing up, and I was like, well, he's done. And then
Yeah.
to come back
And then,
like that.
then found another gear. Yeah. Wow.
And then the 2 loved the stretch out there. Then till the final furlong, yeah. But then held on, yeah.
The Buffalo becomes a key race.
The 2022 edition.
Yeah, the 22 edition of the Buffalo, exactly. Becomes a key race.
So I actually ended up on my side bet here. I keyed the 3 horse, so then I hit the exacta again. So not bad.
Nice. Well
Yeah,
done.
when this kid Knights gets on the lead, he's you know who he's reminded me of? I think Tim and Jessica and Keith. He's the Abley of this year. You
Wow.
like just going for the lead, and Abley won a lot of races. And he's doing
Stealing
great
the
at
races.
Woodbine now. Huh?
Yeah, is he doing well at Woodbine, right?
Yeah, he's riding like 30. He's won like 13%, 13%.
Wow, very
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's riding
People
really
love him.
well.
people
Very
love
good.
him. Yeah. So
All right, 176 people tuning in. So make sure that you
Love it.
like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everyone being with us. We are 1 for 2 as far as our wagers go, but if you listen to those in the lounge, Keith had that one. He was giving out 3 and 2. So we are right there.
Definitely.
Yep. Right there. Yep. Many races to go.
Plenty more opportunity for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's going to be race 3 here and start of the pick 5. So people get involved with that. And, that's the 20 cent, I believe. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
20 cent base rate wager on that pick 5, as well as the pick 3s. So if you end up out, you can always roll it into a pick 3.
Yeah. Canada does very well with those 20 cent bets. They're very smart,
Mm-hmm. They're great for learning the game, and I think that's one of the best things about Assiniboia as a whole.
Right. Yep.
Just the fact that they provide free pass performances, which is revolutionary. Huge that they do that over on their Assiniboia Downs player portal on their website that I should know. I think it's asdowns.com.
Yeah, I got it open right here. Yep, asdowns.com/player-portal/
Yeah.
There you go.
So if you're wanting to play along, make sure you check that out and get yourself some past performances. But yeah, and then the 20 cent base wagers are great. You can kind of learn ticket structure and practice without having to spend a ton of money to kind of figure out what works for you betting strategy wise, which I think is really really valuable and one of the coolest things about Assiniboia Downs.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you could have like that. What is it, like a $4.80 ticket or something like that for a pick 3, and just it's not like you're breaking the bank losing, and you're learning, like you just said, and about ticket structure and all that. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do decent on ROI with bets like that, even if okay, yeah, no, I made $20, but I spent $4. So,
yeah,
you're just kind of playing for fun. That's a good way to spend a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. So,
yeah, kudos to the 37% who had that 2 in stable though.
No, I can't get into mine for some reason. Yeah, if somebody wants to let me know what horse I used, I didn't write them down.
I saw
Says something is wrong.
Pete, you used the 4. No.
I don't think I did. Yeah.
You had the 3. You had the 3 and the 1.
Okay.
Or no, the 3. You had the 3, and then the 1 is in the next race. Sorry.
All right, cool. Yeah. That was good. That's what I thought I was going to do.
Not bad.
All right, yeah. I got a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 2nd so far, so not bad.
There you go.
So yeah, you're in 11th.
All right, cool. Good stuff. I might have to ask you guys all night what horses I'm using. I didn't write them down. I just kind of clicked at the buzzer.
That's all right.
I've been 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 4th. There you go.
Rodney's in 9th in the free game.
I need the wins.
There you go. That's right, Todd. It's fun to make some money there for sure. And definitely Basil with the 20 cent increments. That's good.
Yeah, you're not trying to grind out any, life-changing money that way. But if you're just trying to have some fun, and like we said, it's educational. It's a great way to learn the concepts of ticket structure and what works for you as a betting strategy that you can then apply to, those like $1-2 base wager type multi-race tickets.
Yeah. I think Basil also depends on what track you're talking about. Like in 20 cent pick 3s, like at Woodbine, you can have a race where the field is literally 7-2, 4-1, 5-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-2, and 3-1. How do you single on that group? You know what I'm saying? So even with the 20 cent like pick 3s and pick 4s up there, it's very hard to single at a track like that. So if you can get 3 in that order with that many horses that are similar in wagering, you can still get a really nice hit even for 20 cents on the 3, 4s, and 5s. Barry C., how are you, sir?
Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Barry likes the 5 in this upcoming race, Pickin' Riffs, who, Victor points out, was favored to win last week, got just beat half a length in there, and comes back at a little bit of a shorter distance this time, going 5 furlongs for the 7,500 maiden tag.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
This is an interesting race.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit another tough one for such a short field. The 4-horse kind of looks like the controlling speed. It here also just got beat a neck last time out. Has that work in between starts. Was part of that Gorno barn that is now mostly under the care of Lee Delarond. And I think looked to me like the horse to beat, but not necessarily a sure thing by any means. The 6-5 morning line, I don't think the horse is bettable at that. I'm not sure what the current odds are here. Yeah, the horse is 7-2 right now, and the favorite is actually inside the 1. No, I won't back down, dropping out of the maiden special weight level and putting blinkers on for Courtney Ross, second off the layoff, trying to get things done. Was competitive last season in those maiden special weight races, but showed absolutely nothing first time back. Sean, what were you thinking in here?
I liked for an upset, and he's actually getting some play here, 9-2. I actually like Charlie's Glitter.
Nice.
Coming out of the maiden special weight, showed absolutely nothing. He's off the rail and faded in the turn. But if you notice, this is actually Lee Delaronde's actual horse because it does not say previously trained by Gorno. So this is actually their horse. And Voodoo takes the mount back. 2 for 16, not terrible. This seems to be kind of like the Barnes. They go to this person a lot. And I like the fact this horse, 35-2 on the thing, shows some speed, at least back, a workout after the race, before the race. It was 18-1. They didn't bet the horse, but he ran against St. George, More of Today, and Dancing in the Creek. These horses would all be 1-9 if they were in this race. You know what I'm saying? So I figure maybe Lee's just figured this is where this horse belongs, and this horse will do a much better performance. So I was 3, 1, and then 4. And yeah, that was me, 3, 1, 4.
Nice.
Makes sense. Keith?
Yeah, I think this probably might be one of my stronger, opinions of the night. Is I really do like the 1 here, who's currently the favorite. I know it's a, 0 for 9 horse here, but you got Whitehall's jumping aboard, and I just think, like you mentioned, Jessica, this horse is getting a lot of different changes. You're getting the blinkers now, so you're getting a jockey that I think is going to get hot. And I like the draw here, and then Courtney Ross. So I think the time to win is now for the 1. And then I actually gave and this other horse that I really liked also is getting bet is the 6. I just thought the 6 third off of the layoff now, and was the favorite 2 back at this similar level, and just kind of shortening up distance, which I like. So I thought the Exacta. And then, as far as these other horses here, I looked at, I'm really kind of against the 4. I was kind of a little perplexed that this horse was the favorite. I know off of 1 race, lost by a neck, second place. But I just was going to try to beat that 4. And then the 5.
Nope. Did we lose Keith?
Maybe. I thought it was me.
Yeah, no.
No, it's definitely.
Oh, all right.
No, we lost Tim and Keith.
Plus, We've lost everyone. All right.
Yeah,
And here I thought it was just my internet going down, so I was just waiting. We'll wait and see if Keith starts moving again down there. But I think he was talking about being
Yeah,
against the 4 a little bit here,
yeah,
and that definitely makes sense. I mean, the horse is actually stepping up after that race where he got beaten just a neck. For me, I was trying to hope that the speed worked out, but that's what I hoped in the last race, and it didn't work. So
yeah.
we'll
I know, yeah,
we'll see. I also did like the 1 a little bit, and I thought the 5 made some sense in here. Another horse who just got beat half a length at a similar level.
yeah,
So, but
yeah. Picking
and
riffs, yeah,
I think he was talking about the 6 also, who makes a little bit of sense in here off of a pretty nice race at that $5,000 level, which is the same level the 4 is coming out from last time out, and can be a little bit tactical. So some
yeah,
interesting directions we could go in here.
yeah. Absolutely. Raphael took the 5 in the stable. Good luck. Colin Sheehan,
Colin in the
wow,
house.
in the house. Will he even
Tim
be?
Tim vanished.
Tim
He
vanished.
turned into a black screen at the exact same
Yes.
time that Keith froze. So it was a
Yes.
little bit little chaotic.
Frank Payne a vet live to his pick 3 with the 1.
All right.
Good luck there, Frank.
Yeah, best of luck there. Take a quick look at those will pays. $8.63 for 20 cents to the 1, not bad. Just for
Yeah, not bad at
especially
all. Yeah,
you're going 20 cent. Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, looks like we might have Tim back.
We might
There
have
we go.
Tim back. Oh, there's Tim.
All right.
I don't know what happened. Keith dropped off, and I was like, well, Keith is just freezing up. And then I dropped, and I was like, what the heck?
Right. I can't have we gone through what you liked in here yet, Tim?
We have
completely
not.
lost track
You
of who
know,
I've talked to now.
It's funny because, Keith was saying that this was one of his stronger opinions of the night. This was my strongest opinion of the night, and I was including horses he wasn't. But I thought that this was the least sexy race of the entire night, the most chalky. I think that the 1-4 exacta box in here, you could put them either way. I love the 4 on top. Keith was saying he didn't like the 4 and was fading. I absolutely love the 4 in here. I see perfectly why this horse was running against much better at Sam Houston. Was claimed, went to Bonner, now came into Assiniboia. That last race, first time in Assiniboia, came in, just missed at 5.5 furlongs. Now they're going back to 5. This horse to me is a clear favorite in here, and I can see this horse winning. And the 1 was another horse with Whitehall getting up back on this horse. Rode it last year, did not ride him his first time out this year. I thought that those 2 were a standout. I do like the 5 a little bit underneath. I see why the 5 is taking money, obviously. And right now I'm surprised to look up and see that the 5 is the favorite. Yes, a little bit more class. But when I was looking at the races and the times and everything, I don't think that the 5 is any better than the 1 and the 4. And I thought 1-4 exacta box to me was pretty solid in here. And when I was looking and at the picks, Kurt and Stretch both have the 1 and the 4 in the exact same order, 4-1, 4-1. I have 4-1. It's like it's just, to me, like I say, it's the most formful of the night. I just think that those 2 horses are a little bit of a standout to me.
Yep.
Fair, yeah. That was.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
friend.
Rick Johnson agrees with you there, and I'm inclined to agree that those 2 seemed like the 2 to beat. The 4 to me was the horse to beat. I understand the reservations definitely about the class compared to a horse like the 1, but yeah, I would be comfortable either boxing 4-1 in an exacta, or maybe we try and get someone in for the try underneath of them. The 3 really caught my eye just on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And is
Yeah.
kind of interesting just as a horse who second time starter who didn't really do a whole lot, but did show a tiny little bit of early foot there. You see was 3 lengths back at first call and then dropped just completely out of it. We've got Keith back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I dropped at the same time as Tim, and then I just came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you both dropped, and Sean and I both, I think, thought our internet connection, it was us.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
then I
of dead
just,
air there, but that's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because my internet my Wi-Fi went out for like 5 seconds, so that's strange.
Yeah. Let me see if I can drop him again. Oh,
I'm undroppable here. No,
Stop kicking us out. I'm gonna put Sean in timeout here.
Exactly. Razor is in the house.
Oh, what's going on, Razor? How are you?
Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks.
This is one of my interesting angles in this race, and that's why I actually use this 3 in the stable duel. Right, the horse didn't run a lick, but it was versus maiden specials. He's dropped down. Henry Witt owns both the 3 and the 4. You know what I'm saying? So I know these aren't like huge fields. Like we're not at Gulfstream where you have like 11, 12 horse maiden special weights, right? But he's putting them in with this 4. You know what I'm saying? So are you just giving him a run, or do you think maybe that this horse has a interesting chance? So I just thought that was interesting because owners don't like to run against their horses against other horses, So just thought that was interesting.
Has anybody ever heard of this guy in here before? Colin.
She came to harass you, and then you vanished.
That's a name I haven't seen in the chat. What's up, Colin?
Yeah. He used to do sleepy picks when he could stay up, but Zach, and now he's.
This is why I left. I saw Colin in the chat and I bailed.
Right.
Tell you, the sleepy time pick was had a positive ROI for a while, so I don't know if that was a good thing or not, Colin.
Colin's in a good mood. His Bruins spent money today. They just got to sign their goalie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get a bet in here. Oh, yeah. Did we come up with an official bet here? Or I think I maybe missed it.
Not. I'm kind of thinking maybe we try and get a trifecta in here.
Nice.
Kind of go 1-4 with. I kind of want to include the 3 and 3rd at least. Of have like, I don't know. Do we want to just go 1-4 over 1-4 over 2, 3, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Or do we want to put another horse, do something else in second? Where I don't know that I need the 2 at all, but also as a horse, what do you all think? I'm first to admit that betting strategy is not my forte.
I like that bet. 1-4 with 1-4 with 3, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I like that. Yeah.
Let's let it ride. Yeah, definitely.
Razor is asking Jessica, anyone know how to check when their game of silk horse is going to race? I'm still waiting on mine and can't wait.
Add the horse to your Equibase stable. If you look up the horse on Equibase, then you can have it set to send notifications to your email when the horse works or races.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get emails every day from TVG of some of these horses. I was like, I don't even know half of them. And I just, I put them in for some odd reason. Either I saw them run well or just some kind of excuse. So it's interesting to follow these horses.
What do we want our base amount to be in here?
So if it's $2, it would be a $12 total. I think that's totally doable.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was leaning. Perfect.
That's exactly what I did. Same bet.
With the 3, 5, 6.
Now we have to let Jessica, before we do this race, give a little props to her people. Whitby, 21 to 1.
Yes.
Mark Henry.
So excited.
Fabulous ride by my boy Romero.
the ride made the difference. I really think
yeah.
the ride made the difference for him getting aggressive with him. He's been kind of a goof, had
Yeah.
some issues with just keeping his mind on business. And I think being aggressive with him, getting out there and getting us a win for Little Bluebird, that was super exciting. Setting us up
Yeah.
really nice heading into Saratoga. We've got pretty loaded holster for Saratoga this year, so it's very exciting.
Very exciting. My man Mark Hennig getting the job done. Love it.
All right. Keith mentioned he's fading the 4 in here, so you're going 1-6, which I respect. I like the 4 is my top pick, but I respect taking the stand.
We're fading Keith.
And I'm putting side bets in the chat and everything. It's just bad.
Right. No, that's, you know what? Fair.
That's a Tim move. Like when I have like the 2 like turf where he's like, come on 5.
I'm hoping one of us catches, especially us all.
Exactly. That's the fun of it, is a little bit of competition when you have split opinions. So
Look at Riders up first place in the stable build game.
Oh, really? In the $5? Or?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I think I'm in 11th in the free. I didn't get in any of the paid here so far. So, yep. All right. Well, they're loading up. Yeah.
Let's go get the money.
The field is set. They're at the post. Picking riffs a little fractious.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And
the rock.
Sideways thing there.
From the middle of the track.
5 went off as the favorite. Wow.
Shows that good early speed and is going to open up early by about 2.5 lengths to the outside.
Vamos, Enano.
Is going to be patiently in second in between horses.
By the way, Enano Carlo is expensive midget.
Has secured the rail and moving up smartly. Then 5 more back to your trailers. Dad's a mumble.
Here we go.
What is going on with these times?
Come on, 41.
Are these times accurate?
Look at this 1.
Can't be. There's no way. Come on, 41.
I won't back down on the inside.
Come on, 1.
In between horses and back to
here we go.
Come on, 41.
4-1-6. 4-1-6.
1's gonna win.
4-1-6 third. That would be a much better day.
Hold on, 5.
Yeah.
On the outside. And no, I won't back down. And Nano Carroll.
We cashed.
I won't back down.
All right.
He's
Yeah.
gonna take it. And Nano Carroll second best. Third's gonna go.
Kurt made it seem like it was really close. Wow.
Antonio Whitehouse.
There it is.
Sixth third would have been a little bit
That's why I
nicer
said
than the favorite.
1-4 to me. That 1-4 exacta box was the bet of the night. So I just played
There
that
you
10
go.
times.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Love it.
And then we hit it for the show here too. Nice.
We hit the try.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you pounded that, that's good because the 6-5 was third.
Yeah, we wanted that 6 to hold on.
Yeah,
wanted
I
that
know. I
6.
like
That
that.
6 that got third, that would have been pretty all right, I think.
Yeah. The Tom Petty special right there. No, I won't back down. Nice job, Frank Payne hitting the top 3.
Oh.
Hitting the big 3.
Nice.
Well
Nicely
That
done.
was doable.
Cool.
All right. See what that ends up paying out.
Great
Yeah,
job.
let's take a look. I always look right after, especially when I hit, of course.
So
Right,
the 1-4,
exactly.
the 1-4 is paying $24.80 for $2. So
Ooh.
that's a good exacta
Wow.
because the favorite was the 5-1. So 1 and 4 is actually
Okay.
paying pretty decent. So I like it a lot. I
Very
hope
good.
everybody had that one. We gave that out
Yeah.
on 1-4 exacta box and had
Yep.
the try in
Yep.
the chat and
Yeah.
let's go.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see what we got
Only
here
winners
for
in
this
the-
try.
in the Monday night.
Exactly.
5-2. Wow.
That horse did not
that's-
back down.
Seemed like
He did not.
seemed like a nice gift.
I
5 to
thought the
2 on that
4 ran
horse.
pretty great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 was gutsy. Just got run down late.
That was the Whitehall factor.
Right. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Very
All right,
good.
just one official. Let's see if we can see what these
Now entering the winner's enclosure.
here.
The official winner here in race 3. That's number 1. No,
Barry, that's exactly how we do it here at Trust the Profits.
Yeah.
Bad typing because of vodka or whatever the drink is, or we do Thursday night is a cocktail lounge, but there's nothing wrong with having a beer on a Monday night as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you're off summer long vacation.
Oh,
And
there you go.
Noah Will Back Down is a great grandson of Rubiano.
So that was a $4.32 for 20. So we would get 43.20 because we had a $2, right? So
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that cost us 12 and 43.20. So that was a 31.20 profit.
All right, fantastic.
Good job.
Yeah.
Payne, nice job.
I think with that win, that Antonio Whitehall is now tied for second in the jockey standings. I just pulled it up,
Yeah.
so
Watch
it
out.
was going to happen eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had a cross bet there on my boy.
if you're
Yeah.
following along at home and you check the ticker on the bottom, our current bankroll is $118.50, and we started with 100. Let's go.
Love
There
it.
you go. Profiting and having a great time doing it.
Colin has a
Oh, there you go.
100K race.
VIP fan of the night.
Congratulations to Chelsea, the fan of the night on Canada Day at Assiniboia Downs.
Right,
Man.
exactly.
That's amazing. Imagine having your name on there. That's good.
And Frank just making a cool $128 on that pick 3.
Very nice,
Yeah.
Frank.
Well done.
Great job.
Yeah, Colin says, nice job, Profit.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
But by the way, Todd had said a horse earlier that I'm hoping wins later in the program. That he loves when Kurt he does his name, and that is one.
Kozana.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for you, Sean. As soon as I saw that that horse was in tonight in the last race, I was like, "Oh yeah, Sean's going to do his impression of Kurt."
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Anna, cause Anna.
Yeah, I saw Todd in the chat already talking about it, so that's great.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got
Hopefully we can get a
7 furlongs. So look out! That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anna's coming for the
Maybe
win
we'll
tonight.
we'll see him get in the winner's circle, and we can have like a little side by side. We'll make it a YouTube short of Sean calling Anna Kozana, and then Kurt calling Anna Kozana.
Exactly.
Side by side, right? Yeah.
We gotta do this. Exactly.
Yeah, some of the names just stick out to you. The way that he
Oh, they do.
announces his announcing
Mhm.
style is so
Yeah.
unique.
Oh, he's great. He's fantastic.
Wow,
Kinda
that was a
reminds
nice- that was a nice little profit there.
Yeah,
That was great.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
profit for the profit.
love it.
for sure.
I just checked my results.
Looking all right.
See.
So I had the exact 10
Did I
times
hit that?
in the try.
Nice.
It's crazy. I forgot that I put in a 1-all exacta right before they sprung the latch. So not bad. I doubled my money on that.
Okay. Yeah. No.
No,
That's
no
great.
boxing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had the
Todd's been-
one
Yeah.
because I thought that 1-4 was so strong and it could finish either way. I took both of them in stable duel, so that'll give me 100 points.
Nice. Great.
Todd says, "Do you
Great
think he
call
orders
there.
food like he calls?"
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I ended up skipping that race in stable duel.
Can you
That's
imagine?
unfortunate.
I'll have a number 1.
Yeah,
A large prize
right.
and the Coca-Cola.
Ooh, wow.
There, growing up, there was a worker at the local Burger King who had just like the perfect radio voice, and I feel like he took a lot. He was like really good at just like, he was super friendly, but also like taking your order. It was like an experience. He's like, "Yes, would you like a number 5? What kind of drink would you like with that?" Just like, I don't know. He sounded like a radio personality taking your order at Burger King, and it always just kind of cracked me up.
That's amazing. It's like Man with the Golden Voice, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That vibe. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think of horses that you just associate the horse name with a track announcer. And Ano Grizana.
Are you wearing a
Definitely
vest?
one of those.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, there's a horse in the next race that Sean always talked about every single time he runs. I think let me know which horse it is, Sean.
Let me see. Who was it? In the next race?
Yeah.
Really slow?
Nice job, Rick.
That's it. You always said, like, why would they name this horse really? Why would you name your
Why
horse
would you name
really
a horse
slow?
like that's like the horse out in Santa Anita, Low Expectations. You know, who names a horse Low Expectations? You know,
Way to give the horse a complex.
there was a horse.
Hey, Colin,
won yesterday.
yeah.
There's a horse that
Yeah.
won at Woodbine yesterday, Rat Porridge. I'm like, who named the horse Rat Porridge?
That's a name. That's a
Hey, Colin,
decision.
yeah, I'm actually wearing it's an Under Armour shirt, so I know it looked like a vest, but it's very comfortable. So, and I figured it matches with the white hat. So,
Yeah, see, there you go.
Uh,
Wow, Rick had $10 exactly. Good job, Tim.
Yeah, that should get him 124 because I had a
Yeah.
20 and that was 248.
Wow.
Nice. Fantastic way to start out the night here. Let's keep it going. So going into race
Heck
number 4,
yeah.
and there
Yeah.
is Really Slow, who doesn't really seem to be without a chance in here. Isn't one of my top 3, but also wouldn't
Mhm.
shock me in this race because this race did look pretty wide open to me. I felt like it was an interesting spot. The horses that I thought were kind of, thought I would get decent prices on, but I was kind of interested particularly in the 5 here. And the big angle with this horse is that you take a look back in the running lines and you look at last year at Assiniboia Downs and you see race May 30th, finishes 4th, race on June 20th, finishes 4th, and then comes back on July 3rd, gets 7 furlongs for the first time in the meet, and wins by 2 lengths. Well, this year,
Oh,
he
let me
starts
turn him
the
off.
season with a 3rd, comes back with a 4th, and is now getting that 7 furlongs for the first time this season. And I think that makes Silvermaker pretty interesting in here. And then kind of similarly, maybe sometime has a decent race going 7 furlongs on the 4th of July last year. So I thought that horse was interesting. Wendy Anderson tends to kind of need a start or two with these horses. So I'm wondering if it might still honestly be a little bit too early in the meet for maybe sometime. But but makes sense. And then on the outside, the morning line favorite, Celerity, also made a lot of sense with on the drop in here from the 5,500 level at Assiniboia down to the 3,000. Again, a horse at Assiniboia trying to find their spot. It didn't work for me earlier in the day, but maybe this time have a little bit of a chance. Sean, what were you thinking?
Here's a fascinating. I thought I was going to have an absolute shocker here, right? And my horse is at 4-1, right? The 3, Himmel, right? That was J Mustard, right? Who's 2 for 4 in the money so far at the track, right? Chavian Chow gets aboard and actually didn't ride this horse bad. You know, came in 4th. It's had some not great races, but at 7 furlongs, this horse has had some decent efforts. But notice every single race they wore blinkers. Right now, all of a sudden the blinkers come off for the first time, and now they're betting it. So I was just looking at this field. I said, well, this field's got a lot of inconsistencies in it. Then I said, well, the horse is 4 for 14 at the distance, so at least the horse is 1 at the distance, more than most of the field has done. They're taking the blinkers off, and instead of Bell, you got Chavian Chow jumping up. So I thought this was a fascinating horse. So I actually put the 3 on top.
Nice.
What do you call it? And then my second pick was the 6, and I was 3, 6, 4.
Fair, Keith?
Yeah, no, a very interesting horse there. The 3 that Sean was just talking about. It's actually going to be my 3rd pick for Hilmenstein, but I like the 5 actually, Silvermaker. I just think I like the stretch out here, and if you look at back at this was similar 7 furlong distance. This horse was 3rd place in a claiming event that was much higher condition than this condition of $10,000. So I just think that the stretch out makes sense here, and then you're getting 3rd off of the layoff. So thought maybe you can get a fair price here on the 5, currently 7-2. And then I did look at the 4 as well. Made a lot of good points there about Wendy Anderson. And I just think that if you look back at some of these races as well, this horse was in great form over the summer, and then concluded it with a win there in September. So I like the 5 and the 4, and then I was looking at Sean's 3, and then I kind of gave a little consideration to the 2 just for I've always followed this horse really slow. I just think he's kind of actually a consistent type coming back to Assiniboia. So it's kind of on a 5-4, maybe exacta box with the 3-2 underneath.
All right.
Totally.
And on the hot hand, Tim, what did you see in here?
I think the 6 is going to be tough to beat in here. I like the 6 on top, and so came in from Bonner, and then first time out. That doesn't look like a lot, but I look for the horse to move forward off of that, and I like the 6 a lot in this position against these horses. I went with kind of like you see Kurt there and Sean. Sean had 3-6. I've got 6-3, just exactly like Kurt's got there. I love Himmelstein in this position, and Sean mentioned a lot of things here, and the blinkers off. Sean nailed it, and it's just like that, and getting Chow back on board. I'm telling you that this horse, the morning line was way off base, and this was the horse that I actually took in Stable Duel. I think it was a $250 horse, the cheapest horse in the field, and I was like, that is just like money. So I like and not just from a Stable Duel perspective, but I like the 3 a lot for second. And then for my 3rd horse, I like Silvermaker, and for all the reasons you guys mentioned, and looks like a horse that could move forward at 2 turns, ran better at 2 turns last year at this distance. If you look, 3 wins and a 3rd in 7 races at this distance. So this is a horse that 3rd off a layoff at preferred distance, stretching out to 2 turns. I think this horse will be a factor underneath. So I'm going to go 6-3-5 for me.
Very good.
Fair. And I also just noticed, interestingly, the dam of Silvermaker. You notice that this horse sold for $800,000 as a yearling, and that's because Silver Colors is a daughter of Kentucky Derby winner Winning Colors.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yes.
So just fun fact, and that is
Keeneland sales graduate for $800K. How you like that?
Wow, you don't usually see that at Assiniboia.
Wow.
Exactly.
he's now a 7-year-old who has earned just shy of $61,000. So not quite what they were hoping for there with Silvermaker, and not the only very well-bred horse on tonight's card, because later in the night there is a full brother to McLean's Music running later. So just another one that I just noticed, and I was like, wait, Forest Music, Distorted Humor, Forest Music, that's McLean's Music.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
that's insane.
Spoiler alert.
yeah.
Wow.
So I also like the
Definitely.
fact that although Colin is making fun of him and calling him celery, that celerity definitionally is basically the opposite of really slow. So I just think it'll be kind of a funny, you know, dead pet alarm
Yeah.
type
Yeah,
angle if those
absolutely.
two end
Yeah,
up in an
yeah.
exacta together.
Yeah.
But how do we want to play this one? I'm 5'6'4" in here. Tim, you were 6'3'5".
Correct.
Keith was
5-4-3. Yeah.
5'4'3", and then Sean, who were your three?
3-6-4.
3'6'4". So we like the 4 outside horses.
Yep.
How do we
Matt
want?
DeSantis in the house.
No, it's crazy.
Matt,
It's the
hello.
6. Yeah. Oh, cool. There he
Thanks
is.
for
The first
hanging-
thing we heard was
dropping
dead
in.
pet alarm.
I was just, you know, if it comes really slow, celerity 1-2, that's kind of a little name angle exacta you could play with. But
Yeah.
how do we want to bet this? I'm kind of inclined to go with the fact that Tim really likes the 6 and trust that as our key in whatever we do.
Yeah.
But I'm not
I
sure
like it. Yeah.
what it
Got to
is we
ride the
want.
hot hand with Tim. Yeah.
That's kind of my thought. I was like, that was my second pick in here, and it was really mostly because just 5-1 morning line versus 8-5. But you know, at 5-2, this horse makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it's
How-
amazing.
By the way,
This horse has run 61 times too. The 6, amazing.
You know, the interesting thing to me in here was if you look at the 2 5-2 horses, the 4 horse in here to me was a complete fade. I did not like the 4 horse at all. And, you know, so the horses I've been fading, we've been doing pretty well with fading those. But I can see the points that Keith made and everything, but I just didn't like this horse. And that's why I went elsewhere. I'm going to hope that the 3 can stay around 5-1 and try to get that horse underneath. But I like the 6 a lot on top here. But
Matt's on
you
the
guys
5 and stable goal.
don't bet it just because I said it. I mean, you guys bet what you think we need to bet. But
Definitely.
I'm kind of wondering
Yeah,
if we
how
try
about
and
this 2? Yeah, 2's taking some money too, actually, which is a little surprising.
I mean, I think the horse makes some sense off of that last race and is dropping a little bit in class. Has, you know, compared to the field, relatively has the ability to be fairly close if he runs back to that last one. So I think that's a horse, like if we were doing like a trifecta, I would definitely not feel safe without the 2 in like 3rd at least.
Yeah.
So right now, just to update, in the free game, I've jumped up to 5th place. And in the $5 game, I'm in 1st and 2nd.
Look at that.
Maybe
Domination.
somebody can let me know when I'm what place I'm in the free game. Yeah, my app keeps crashing here, so that's strange. I think I'm 21st. It said.
Hey, Sean, in the $5 game, I'm 1st and 2nd. Guess who's 3rd?
Yeah, my dad is right behind you. Right
Wow.
behind you.
Papa's
Papa's
picks
pick.
is right on my butt.
Right behind you.
Yeah, good company in the money right there. Well done, Tim, so far. And then Papa Nolan's right on your trail. Yeah.
Yeah. And Smurf the Turf lurking there at 14th too. Exactly. Mom's trying to catch both of them.
What if we did something like, what if we like key the 6 just on top, like 6 with 3-5 with 2-3-4-5, something like that, or we key the 6 in 1st and 2nd with the 3 and 5, and then go 2-3-4-5 3rd, something like that. I don't know if that's getting a little too fancy for us, or what y'all think.
We're up, so play it the way you want. Make a call, Jess. We're behind you.
Oh no!
There you We got confidence.
That's not what I want to hear.
All right,
That's
Sean,
not
what
what
do
I
you
want to
think?
hear.
We'll let Sean make the call. Sean, what are we betting?
Yeah, what she said. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
we can go. I think I like the idea of having the 6 in first and second. Do like just $1 each way. Go like 6 with, what was it? 3, 5 with 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3, 5 over 6 with 2, 3, 4, 5 for $1 each. Ends up being $12 total.
There you go.
Cool. You got to get creative sometimes to, maybe at least double your money here.
Mr. DeSantis makes an excellent point here that 50 people watching, I actually see like 199 up here, 50 watching on YouTube, but 199 are watching mini through the X app. And we only have 25 likes on YouTube. What is up with that, people? Let's hit the like button.
Exactly.
Mash it or gently graze it.
We can graze the like button, but smash the subscribe. Smash it. Got to hit it hard.
Have the notifications on. Exactly. Have everything. And and I mean, we're putting out content every week and all different kind of perspectives. So appreciate all the support. And just hit that like button. It goes a long way.
Yeah. And yes, Matthew, I did sing "Oh Canada" today in honor of my Canadian racing family up there at Woodbine.
I thought Matt would join us so he could come in here and talk about what's coming up with Naira Bets.
Yeah, very exciting.
That was my fault. Yeah. I was a little bit behind today on everything and completely forgot to send him the link. Though it's not too late. It's certainly not too late.
I don't think I've ever seen a bet like this for official bet. Very creative. Awesome.
Does this make sense? Is that even logical? I don't know if maybe it's probably not worth putting him both ways, is it? I'm so bad at betting. I'm the world's worst gambler. You can't.
Here's why I think it's not bad in this case, Jessica. If you were playing the horse above and under, and they were the top 2 favorites, I would say it's not worth going both ways. But you're not. We're playing 3 and 5. And those horses are not the ones that are behind. As a matter of fact, you've got 2 horses in between our favorite, the one we like the most, the 6, and those 2 horses. So, and the 4 has now taken over favoritism in here. So not horrible.
All right. That was kind of where my logic was, where, if I'm like really leaning on something that's like 6-4, then it doesn't make sense to do it both ways, but that's not what we're thinking. So, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm learning along with everyone, which is why I personally do like these 20-cent base wagers, because I can play that for myself for $2.40.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, you could actually play it, for under $5 and just, enjoy the race there and have a good say in it too, betting wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Sean, your 3 is floated up, but I definitely took notice of that money. That was some big early money.
8-5. Just as you said, Keith. Here he comes down.
My God! I'm telling you, they're all watching. So hit that like button.
You know what's funny too? You know what I love about him too? He has no outrider. That means the jockey is confident. Doesn't even need an outrider. He's like, my horse is doing just great.
Looks very confident on the track right there. Yep.
Well, that's the only horse I have in this race in Stable Duel. So come on, Himmelstein.
Oh, somebody let me know who I have in Stable Duel. I can't even check. I forgot. Let's see.
Let me see here.
Colin and I, by the way, officially buying the Celtics. We're going to have these. Yeah, should be.
You have really slow.
month or so.
You have the 2 horse, Keith.
Oh, okay, cool. I did set all that. Wow, and look at the 2's actually taking some big money now.
Really slow. How do you like a horse named Really Slow?
It's the same as like low expectations. I mean, come on.
I think Kurt actually gets really into that name too. Like he'll give you like a growl, really slow.
Yeah.
But very even betting board overall for a 6-horse field.
Yeah. This looks like a Woodbine board right here. 3, 6, 2, 5, 5 to 2. This looks like a Woodbine board.
Right.
5 looks very on his toes too here as well.
Yeah. 3 doesn't even need a route rider. Look at that. He's so confident. Chow's like, you people can all sit with your ponies. I'll just sit right here.
Just hang out
All
on
right,
her
they're gonna be heading to the gate here soon.
I am not a fan of the 4, and the 4 is a favorite. So what did I do wrong?
own.
It's
Isn't that always scary?
amazing though, Tim. Yeah, when you're right though. I mean, this is where you get some big bucks though. Yeah.
Yeah. TM in the house. How are you, TM?
TM's
Hey,
got
man.
the 4-6. I'm with you,
Yeah,
Raphael,
yeah.
about the 5 being good value.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I love the 3 in here at 6 to 1. I mean, I like the 3 even more. And I think the 3 looks really good on the track. I was really surprised when Sean jumped on and said
Look
he
at
liked the
that.
3 on top.
Oh, there's the man.
Joining us.
Howdy, howdy.
Out of
Going
the
on?
bullpen. Hello,
Good
sir.
to see you guys.
Apologies for
doing
not
today,
sending
Matthew?
the invite a little bit sooner.
No, it's all good, all good. So I was just finishing up some work, and I thought I was going to kick back and just take it easy. Opened up YouTube, and I was like, no, the profits. I got to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
So out to celebrate Canada Day, watching a little Assiniboia.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Always love having you.
Awesome.
You have a quick
Right,
opinion
and-
for this race?
I like the 5 at the value, and I like the fact that the 5 can run 7 furlongs in 2 turns here. Has had some experience with that going back to last year and did really well third back off the layoff last year. So that was a little bit of just a value play, and that was my stable dual play in this particular race. But I had heard Tim's points about the 6. It certainly made a lot of sense. I think this is going to be a fun race. Always like watching the 2 turns.
Yeah, absolutely. Some antsy horses here.
Yeah, surprisingly not the number 1 horse though, who looks rather calm. Although Sean should knock on wood. The ghost of the number 1 hole always does
Right.
strike.
Oh, and
Unbelievable.
there it is, a little bit of a.
Yeah.
Ooh, the 5 got pinched back.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Right, it was a little delayed, I think.
There's our 3 without blinker, Sean.
On the inside,
There you go.
Smart Call is now going to take advantage as Himmelstein went a little wide and is going to engage.
Oh, look, the 1 horse we
for
don't
the
have.
Early lead. Settle back in third. That's
I'm sure we'll have some horses go unnecessarily wide too, right?
Of course. I wouldn't be a Assiniboia if they don't go wide or hit the frickin' rail like that UAE shipper did last week.
That was
in turning for home. So it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Running as a pair, Celerity and Really Slow. Then it's Silvermaker.
So those fractions are kind of slow. Wow. I mean, I know
Wow,
it's a
the
route, but
They let the wine
The
get
fractions
away.
tonight, I'm not sure if they're completely trustworthy because the last race they had the quarter up in 29 and change.
Here comes our
This
spot
horse is-
going to Calgary. There it is. Let's see how far wide we can go.
This horse might be gone.
yeah, they let them kind of walk here.
Smart Call spins out of the turn with the lead by 5. On the far outside, maybe
Here comes this 4 late.
3/4 and 115. Smart Call.
got it.
Maybe
Yeah.
sometime. One last try, but Smart Call is going to hang on. Maybe sometime second back.
Audio got a little
Polarity,
delayed there,
and
I think, but
to really
that's all right.
slow.
Yeah.
I think this is the one horse we didn't talk about at all. So there are
Yeah.
races like that.
Overlay too. Yeah.
I really thought this race was going to be too long for this horse after that performance last time out, but
Oh.
I guess the drop helped.
The Stewards
0 for
have
5
By the way,
chosen
it's
a
definitely
full
raining.
break.
Look at
to
that.
determine the
It's
winning
definitely
horse.
raining.
They went the opening quarter
Mhm.
25 and
It's
4.
pouring.
The half 49 and 3. 6 furlongs.
Keep an eye on that
115.
track condition
Time for the
later
7
in the night here.
furlongs.
Yeah.
28 and 3.
Yeah, we were saying before that they it was fasted, and they right before, I think, like 15 minutes to post, it was just muddy, they said.
Yeah,
So that was
muddy.
interesting that they changed it and it stayed muddy.
Yeah, and we've not seen throughout this meet, they've had very good weather on the early weekdays. So we've not really seen an off track this year. And so it's going to be interesting. I'll be honest, I've only just watched. This is the first race I've actually seen tonight. I've seen the results from some of the other races, but I don't know if, I just out of curiosity, has it been gate to wire? Has it been a variety of different ways to win, or how's the track been playing overall?
Yeah, the 7 furlong
Let's
race,
also
Matt.
show the winner number
The
1.
young kid, the
Smart
bug
Call.
boy, went
Second
wire to
goes
wire.
to number
And the 3
4,
looked
maybe
like he was
sometime.
stopping, but then
Third to
came
number
back
6,
and almost
Solarity,
cut him
and
back
fourth
at the
to
wire
number
again.
2.
They're kind of
Gotcha.
up on the lead. So speed seems in the 7 furlong seems to be holding for sure.
Yeah, that's
7 furlongs.
I'm with you, Jess. I didn't think that one, 0 for 5 at the distance, and never really showed a lot of propensity for winning, quite frankly. 4 for 49 in the career winning. So that was one which I didn't have much faith in, but got the job
You
done.
got to wonder if the change in tactics might have made a difference here. This was kind of the first time. There's that one race at Fawner on April 5th where he dueled for the lead and kind of faded, but he got the lead without a struggle. And sometimes horses can get real brave just mentally.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different game, being chased rather than chasing. So maybe that was
100%.
the difference there.
Yeah, nice job, Todd. Great pick.
Fair, there really was not much speed in this race, and so Stevenson made a good decision of just saying, "Listen, let's go from the rail and let's get out there and see what happens when you put the horse on the lead." Good things tend to happen. I mean, this is a constant frustration I have with a lot of racing is that people strangle out fractions of a horse, and you just let the horse run. Like, what are we doing? So that's good on them. So.
Absolutely.
Now, Matt, I know. Before you're doing your work, as you do so awesomely well. But beforehand, I heard you were just kind of running on the soon-to-be poly track at Belmont, just testing it out. How the area is getting ready. Any updates?
Sean's trying to get me fired here. I mean, I've barely been here. Sean's trying to get me fired. I mean, obviously that was the big news today that we'll be running the winter meet in New York over the poly track that we're going to be building at Belmont Park, and obviously a lot of range of reactions to that, and I want to be very respectful of some really respected horsemen like Mark Hennig and others who are not necessarily thrilled with that decision, and are a little bit mixed. And even Linda Rice has come out and said, listen, we got some turf horses who will do well on this, but some dirt horses that might not. And it's a little bit of both. But I also know Mark Cassie has said we're going to be bringing some horses down from Woodbine now and running in New York over the winter instead. So there's going to be a trade-off here, and there's going to be some horses that are going to be coming in, and it's going to be good for certain types of horses, and others might have to adjust a little bit. From a betting standpoint, you all know me well enough to know that I like the Tapeta. I've never kind of shied away from betting on an all-weather track. I like Turfway Park. I like Topeka for the championship meet. RIP Golden Gate. I like betting that track a lot. I mean, I enjoyed that surface. I think it's not that tough to figure out how to bet, and it's it's certainly something new for handicappers who are just averse to betting on that. But it's also, let's also be honest, this is 2 years away. Things can change. And so, you don't want to jump to too many conclusions about how it's all going to play out. But I do think, if nothing else, we should be happy we have this poly track at the new Belmont Park, because after last summer at Saratoga, where we had so many 2 and 3 horse, off turf races, which is just no good for bettors. It's no good for players. It's not a good product to put out there. When you have a poly track, it allows you to go off turf. You still have full fields. The horses still run formfully, and it's a better overall product for bettors. So I'm hopeful for that aspect of it. But we'll have to wait and see. But this is where my background in political science comes in helpful, Jean, giving political answers and just try to
Chicago politician all the way. Love it. But what I think would be great though, Matt. I was saying this. I've already talked to a ton of my friends up at Woodbine, and they're pumped because this would be like an extension. Usually they're done in December. They'll have some horses up that can continue if they're doing well. It's to drive down to Turfway from Woodbine for some connections. That's a real expense. Yeah. To drive from Woodbine to Elmont, not as much. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a horse who's in good shape, for those months, it could be an exciting prospect for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's and I think we also see obviously a lot of Bill Mott, Chad Brown, Todd Pletcher horses go down to Gulfstream Park over the winter, or the ones that maybe don't go down to Gulfstream Park, just go to the bench for 5 to 6 months and don't run, and that's going to change potentially as well. Those horses are they might have a larger string that stays up here now over the winter. It's funny. I've seen Chad Brown horses that go down and do nothing but train in South Florida. They don't even run. They just go down there and train for 3-4 months. And, if we can try to keep some of those horses up here in New York, that wouldn't be the worst of all things. And again, I know handicapping a new surface is a challenge for some people, and I definitely appreciate that. But I also think that people love Turfway Park. And why do they love Turfway Park? Because there's good payouts and there's big fields, and it's an exciting product. And if we can more closely resemble that over the winter, rather than, and let's just be honest, and Andy Serling said this better than I could, the winter product at Aqueduct is a lot of 5, 6, and 7 horse claiming races with Linda Rice and Rudy Rodriguez, and no shots at Linda and Rudy. But like at some point, that's the product that we're putting out there. And that's not exactly the most attractive product for bettors. So, I think I view it as an improvement, but again, I respect people who disagree with that.
Yeah, even people like Marty Drexler, William Theranos, who maybe they'll stay up here and for you, and which would be great for the poly track.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but it's still a long ways off, and they're still tearing Belmont Park down. So we still got
long way.
It's exactly. So.
Yeah, it's a couple of seasons away, and I was just saying on my lunch break today, I was reading through those comments, and I was like, oh, this is just unbelievable. So many people upset over the news, but I mean, I think it's, like you said, I think it's great for bettors, just for better fields and the connections and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, I don't know if you've heard this yet, but one of the questions earlier tonight, we were talking about this issue. What about like the early season preps, like things like the Jerome, the Withers, the Remsen?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, obviously under this plan, they would be run on the synthetic, but one of the things I guess I would say is I understand the tradition of saying, listen, this has always been a race that's been on the turf, or the dirt, I should say, and now it's being run on the synthetic, and that's going to change, maybe the final times and things along those lines and records, et cetera. I think all you have to do is point to the last couple of Kentucky Derbies to suggest that running preps on the synthetic is not a bad thing. I mean, Rich Strike comes out of Turfway Park to win the Kentucky Derby. Two Phils comes out of Turfway Park to run a huge race and run second. So it's hard for me to say, oh, well, this is somehow a disqualifying feature or this somehow makes New York less relevant on the early Derby trail. First of all, we're talking about the very early Derby trail in terms of the Jerome and the Withers. And it's not as if the New York Derby trail has been exactly heating things up. Again, over the last, we're still waiting for Fusaichi Pegasus. I mean, so it's been a little while since we had a winner of the Wood come in and win the Kentucky Derby. But, I think that trainers, listen, they still run at Turfway, and, we see horses running that circuit and come out of those races and run well. We saw, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Seize the Gray run at Turfway and then go to win the Preakness. So, I mean, I think that's, again, you can have success on multiple surfaces here. It just depends on the horse you have. So, I definitely understand the tradition of it and that changing, but I don't know. I don't view it as that much of a negative just because of the recent success we've seen with Turfway, and particularly that, and Chris Davis brought this up when Politically Correct won the Bachelor Manor this past on Sunday. He specifically said, he goes, this horse has been working out great on the synthetic, and these horses translate from the synthetic at Turfway to the dirt at Churchill so well. And honestly, it might give us a better chance of getting the Derby winner up here in New York. So, we'll have to wait and see. But, I'm not as chicken little maybe as some other people.
Totally agree. Great points.
Definitely.
Yeah, I personally love the synthetic to dirt angle, especially like talking with something that Gail Rice kind of imparted on me at the OBS sales was that these horses, they build up fitness better over the synthetic track. And then they also, their action is different over synthetic. They don't glide over it as well. It can be a little bit sticky in the hind end. So when they're working out like that, but then you get them over a dirt track and they feel like they're gliding over it. It's like going from running in sand to running on pavement. So I think that I agree that I think it could end up being that we see more success coming out of New York on things like the Kentucky Derby Triple Crown Trail, because horses will have the opportunity to train and work over this synthetic surface there.
Yeah, I mean, it will.
Yeah,
Chatter. Matic started out at Turfway Park. I mean, we'll have to see. It's definitely not. I don't think it's a disqualifying feature anymore, and so many really good horses have had success over both. So that'll be fun. But speaking of fun, we got a 5th race coming up here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do.
Matt, you're freshest on the scene. What do you think of it?
What's that?
You're freshest here on the scene. What do you think of this race?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're 6 furlongs, $5,500 claimer, and from a stable duel standpoint, I think I used Kim's Texas Bling. Maybe I didn't, but that horse always freaking beats me. I do know that much about Kim's Texas Bling is that horse beats me all the time. So I think that maybe I did include it in my stable duel. I'll have to totally go back and check. But that's one where even when I'm not thrilled about that horse, it still really runs well. This is actually one of the few horses, and Sean, you always bring this point up, and I'm not just bringing this up because of your boy Antonio Whitehall being on it. But this is one of the few Wendy Anderson horses that won off the bench, and that's really rare.
Yes.
That Wendy's horses rarely win off the bench. And that's something which I put a lot of emphasis on when I handicap, seeing horses do things that trainers aren't usually known for their horses doing. So I remember, for instance, I remember Rusty Arnold really struggled with horses off the layoff for a long time. And then suddenly Red Carpet Ready won off the layoff. And it was like, oh, I trust Red Carpet Ready. I may not trust Rusty Arnold's other horses off the bench, but I trust Red Carpet Ready because she can do something that kind of goes against some of those stats that you might see there. So Kim's Texas Bling was one that kind of stands out a little bit. I see, the number 4 Saber Queen was another one I took a long look at. I don't love that last effort, but that was also against a little bit tougher company and now dropping down a little bit more. Obviously, won against Claiming 25 at Fauner, but did get a win against Claiming 7,500 3-back up here at Assiniboia. So that was one I took a look at as well. That's a little bit more of an affordable price.
Yeah,
I like it.
Very good.
Keith, what do you?
It's
thinking
funny. I'm going to take the other Wendy Anderson horse in here. I kind of looked at the 5, was a little intrigued by Loud Abroad. I just thought, kind of a tricky trip last time, kind of, in tight at the rail and then got off the rail and was, just kind of got up and ran in spots. But I thought there was a little bit more to give there. And then we're going third. Actually, we're going 4th off the layoff here. I just thought this horse had a little bit of a look, maybe just to kind of at least be, in the exacta, kind of spice things up. And we're getting a big overlay right now of 7-1.
Huge price on the horse.
And I heard Matthew's points. I know this horse so well, Kim's Texas Bling. I agree. It's just something that you don't see that off of the layoff like that and win. And then you get Antonio Whitehall is now tied for 2nd in the jockey standings. So, this horse is going to take money late, but I'm kind of against Kim's Texas Bling there. So I'm going to go with 5. And I actually gave a little bit of a long shot look to the 7. I just thought, this horse has kind of been disappointing at the end of last season, was the even money chalk and finished 6th. But if you look back at some of these other races, hopefully this horse actually was 6 furlongs. So that's 6 furlongs today. I know it says listed mud, but this horse was 2nd at a higher condition last summer. So I thought Bayal was a horse that kind of had a little bit of a look. So I kind of like 5-7 here, kind of a little bit off the beat here. All
right. Sean?
Yeah, shout out to our friend John Paley, by the way. So, and not because Antonio, Matt basically said exactly why I picked the 3. Because this horse has just done something that Wendy doesn't usually do. And this horse was closing last time. I looked at the race. I said the 1 may go, the 2 may go, 6 may go. They have like 3 horses that are dueling on the front. Nobody's better than Antonio coming from behind. He's already done it once tonight. And I think this horse was definitely, to me, the play. Whitehall's 2 wins in the 3rd with this horse. And so I was 3, 5, and 6.
I like it. And Tim, how about you?
So far tonight, we've had a race at 5 furlongs, a race at 6 furlongs, and 2 7s. So if you look at the 5 and the 6 furlong races tonight, you had a horse on the lead in both of those races who just gave up to the horse that was stalking in the stretch, and they finished stalker in front of lead on the 5 and the 6 furlong races. So we've got a 6 furlong race coming here. I think Maybella is going to be the speed in here, and stalking is going to be McLean's Bella. And I think McLean's Bella is going to finish on top with Maybella 2nd. I like Kim's Texas Bling, but tonight I'm not seeing closers at the shorter distances. I think that this horse is going to be a little further back. So I think she closes best for 3rd. I'm 6, 2, and 3.
All right. And
it looks like they got a little bit more rain too. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that track is properly muddy at this point for sure. In this race, I was kind of leaning toward the 5, Load Abroad, on the drop coming out of that race with Kate's Princess. And a next out winner in behind her there too. So, and this horse, we mentioned that Kim's Texas Bling was unusual that she won off the layoff for Wendy Anderson. Well, Load Abroad is 4th off the layoff for Wendy Anderson, and I think this is a horse who's going to start coming into her own for this season at this point in time. So that would be my top pick. And then I also liked the 4 Saber Queen, who was coming out of that same race but kind of stopped. I like that Saber Queen has a win at the meet going 5 furlongs for a slightly higher tag. So I'm hoping that the fact that she backed up that last time was a matter of the distance, and maybe that extra half a furlong helps. I think that Saber Queen has the ability to be relatively close. I do agree with Tim that Maybella looks like the speed in here. McLean's Bella probably sits right off her with maybe even Giddy Up Zoe as part of that pace scenario. But I was 5-4-2-3 in here.
Well, I will
And
mention
4-1.
the number 7, who I know Todd's trying to keep the price up on this one. But I will say the horse is 1-for-1 over a wet track. So there's something to mention there. And if you're just looking at wet track form, the number 1, Giddy Up Zoe, has a win and a second over a wet track in 3 career starts. And then Kim's Texas Bling has a win over a wet track as well. But those, the 1, 4, and 7, I'm sorry, the 1, 3, and 7 are the only horses that have a win over the wet track. Not a lot of experience necessarily from the rest of the field, but just something to make note of in case you're playing the mutter angle in this particular race. So,
Mother was a mother. Yeah.
And I think McLean's Bella probably figures to move up on a wet track, being by McLean's Music with that 419 Tomlinson figure there too. So
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask you. All right, good. Yeah, Tomlinson figure is huge, especially as I said. It looks like it's definitely raining right now. So yep.
And you could buy a full brother to her sire for $7,500 in the next race.
Oh
yeah!
Wow, look at that shot.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about synthetic racing, so that was now it wouldn't be an issue with this, right?
Yeah, it's coming down.
I was disappointed handicapping this card tonight. I was looking for Vacoma babies and I couldn't find any.
that is now the very first thing I do in all 2-year-old races. Like whenever I see a 2-year-old race, I'm like Vacoma. But I just scroll through. I'm like, no Vacomas. All right, now I actually have to do work.
Well, now I got.
But if I just see a Vacoma, I'm like, great,
hilarious.
That's the horse. Fantastic.
Right, exactly. Unreal. 11 for 16. That's incredible.
Yeah, he's doing great. The real surprise is that Instilled Regard is 3 for 4 so far with his runners.
Wow.
Which was not the kind of performance I was expecting from them early. As a horse who definitely got better going longer and even on the turf later in his career. So seeing them come out the gate sprinting and winning is very interesting for me with Instilled Regard.
Yeah. Jess, I'm interested. I can't. I was talking with a colleague about this the other day, and I can't think of a single sire that has come out with this level of success from a just percentage standpoint, with their first 15 or 20 2-year-olds that are racing.
Yeah, it's something I would love to be able to look at. What did the sire rankings for freshman sire look like on July 1st going back historically?
Right.
Because I can't think of one either, but it doesn't feel completely unprecedented to me either. Ooh, some lightning there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the percentage is just ridiculous. Usually as the number starts to get closer to 20, the percentage kind of starts getting a little closer. A good freshman sire hitting it 40-50% is impressive.
Yeah.
So for him to come out like this is definitely impressive. Whether it's unprecedented or not, though, is just such a hard thing to answer without really being able to look at the data.
Yeah, and we'll have to just, obviously see how they stretch out and
That's
obviously over Yeah, over the year, we'll see, how that continues to play out. And I think I talked to you about this before, but like I remember like Bolt Doro started out pretty hot as well, and then kind of cooled off a little bit once it was like, oh well, now we're doing 2 turns, and then and then they got a little bit better as they got older, but it was still it was an interesting. There was a little bit of a growing process there, and it was they because they really started out strong, and then we'll see, but. Yeah, it's kind of surreal to see all of them doing this well. And did I see you post about, or maybe it was Caitlin Free? One of you posted about one of them winning over in Kazakhstan.
That must have been Caitlin.
Yeah,
That sounds like Caitlin. Yeah,
Caitlin did.
Yeah, there was a Vekoma baby who won over in Kazakhstan, and I was like, "This is insane! Like, what is going on here?"
Was that? I think that was the horse that actually ended up winning. What started there and then ended up winning a Grade 1 or Group 1.
Oh, that.
Hey, did we have a bet because the horses are loaded?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have a bet. Tim, make a bet.
We can talk about pedigree all day.
Type of bet in,
Box
Tim.
2-6.
Here we go.
Exacta box 2-6.
There you go.
2-6,
Exact
all right.
box 2-6.
All right.
Got it.
Well, he's gonna hold here. Here we go.
Whoa.
Man, this is coming down.
Look at that rain, man.
We'll do it for 5.
Yeah, I saw that lightning in the background too. That's something that they're gonna have to take notice of. Here we go.
Sound, Sean?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There you go. I've done the first.
we don't have to call the races anymore. We can leave it to Kurt. There you go.
Some good speed with Loda Broad in the middle to the outside. That's McLean's Bella, who now gets the lead.
Wow,
by
5
length.
took late money.
Back to second, Loda Broad. Maybella third on the inside. Bayall making a big 4-wide move. Giddy up Zoe in 5th. Then it's Saber Queen and Kim's Texas Bling. Can see them all. Quick opening quarter in 23 and 2.
23.
McLean's
Oh, they're
Bella
flying.
splashing along, still with the lead by 3 lengths. Bayall still right there in second.
Get that 2
Now
up.
Maybella starting to rally from third, the half.
Come on,
4, 6,
2.
and 1. They hit the head of the lane.
Here we go.
McLean's Bella still looking strong with that lead by 5 to the far outside.
Kim with a big
Boom!
in the late
Crushed
run,
it.
But is running out of ground. A 16.
All right.
6-2-3. I think I called that try, and I think I have that exact end of the try.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nicely
I
done.
forgot to write
Tim-
Fox,
Tim-
but
Yeah.
we'll count it.
Well, we got
Over
it.
the
go.
rest.
Pretty chalky, but unfortunately, that's just what I saw.
If you had the right horses, it's all you can do.
Right. Yeah.
Matt, I
got,
don't know if you heard. Tim bought 5 houses last week at in Myrtle Beach he won last week, and apparently the horse the house that was on the corner that he missed, he's going back down to buy after tonight. He's been on fire.
Amazing, man.
Close to number 6, McLean's Bella.
6-2-3. That's a nice.
How about Kim's Texas Bling going off 6-1? Wow.
Yeah, made up a lot of ground, but
big
just
run.
It's all, I mean,
the start
6 went
good.
out to the lead, never relinquished. So it's just hard to close tonight in the sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 actually ran okay.
that
I
way.
thought the 7 had a little bit of a look. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
as
no,
the
for an 18
conditions
to 1.
worsen, it certainly would seem like it's going to be hard to make up that ground. And if you have early speed, then I mean, this is the Assiniboia we're all used to, right? Just early speed, cheat
Yeah.
code, just
Right,
E8.
right.
If you're using Brisnet, it's just who's your early speed, and that's your pick.
Yeah, those
We
are
were
the
saying that
fun old
earlier,
days,
Matt.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, we were saying last year. Remember how many times Fraser Ailey would just go to the lead, and he just try to go wire to wire on them with the buck.
Yeah. Just why not? And it's crazy because every week, I update the track stats for Naira Bets, and every week I'm like, all right, like it's going to start playing more like it usually does. And every week I'm like, how is there still 30% of horses closing from more than 3 lengths off the pace in these races? And so it really has been genuinely a very fair track to this point in the meet. But as I mentioned, this is also the first time we've had any precipitation on a race day. So, or any significant precipitation. And it's the first time it's not been fast. So we're seeing a different side of this track.
Wow.
And you're right. We're seeing a bunch of lightning in the background. So I wonder if they're going to have to delay things here.
Do you think some of the new jockeys in the colony, you think that has something to do with maybe how some of these races are being run maybe a little differently this year? Or?
I think so. I mean, I think it's, Sean and Jess and Timmy, you guys can talk about this too. I mean, I think that, it takes a little while for the jockeys to learn the different dynamics of the track. Especially if they've never run on a track like this. And I think it is, not knowing maybe how the configuration, and maybe some jockeys going out a little too fast early, and that opens things up for horses coming from off the pace. And, so I think, once they get a little bit more familiar, then you're going to see the track maybe return to what it normally did. But I mean, there are a lot of new faces in this jockey colony this year.
Right. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is Knight who's been doing that.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
As we were talking about how Abley has been doing it before, this was another example of Knight's doing it here. And he's got another horse that can show a little bit of speed in this next race on the inside with Giacometti. Probably, you would think, has to try and go from the inside in this next race. So be interesting to see if that holds, because this race does look like it has quite a bit of speed.
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah. I mean, all the inside three horses all feel like they're going to have to go. And then you also have the number 7 Lucky Luke on the outside. So, there's going to be a lot of speed in this next race. And, we'll see if it holds up or if it collapses. And we'll see the tactics, too. I mean, and this is something, that I think is such an interesting thing that I think sometimes handicappers don't pay enough attention to, which is jockeys look at the past performances as well. And sometimes jockeys will look at a race and go, good Lord, everybody's going to try to get to the lead. You know something? My horse can rate a little bit. I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to let these other horses go. And sometimes a race that's supposed to have a fast pace ends up not having that fast of a pace, because you get a couple of jockeys who go, I don't know if I want to put my horse up there. And conversely, sometimes a race that looks like it's going to be slow, the jockeys look at it and they go, hey, if I get my horse up on the lead, I might be able to take him gate to wire. Well, the problem is they're not the only ones who think that. And next thing you know, there's a couple horses who try to go. So, there's a human element to this as well, that we don't just run the races based on the time form early pace numbers and, the Brisnet ratings, that we run it based upon, human decisions that are being made in the split second, and a jockey going, hey, there's an opportunity to go, or, hey, maybe I need to take back. And suddenly the pace complexion completely changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So be interesting to see. And it'll be fun to also see if we can get a little McLean's music double of sorts here, because,
Cool.
you could buy a full brother to the winner of this 5th race for just $7,500 out of the 6th race.
You guys want to pull some money together?
Yeah, Tim, let's hit another exacta. We can put in a claim on this horse.
Let's go.
I mean, he's a gelding, so I don't know you're going to do a whole lot except keep. Tim,
instead of taking
that exacta page,
private jet, let's buy a horse.
But if you're checking the bankroll down in the ticker, we started out with $100 and we're up to 144.25 after.
Hey,
all right,
good.
All right.
Yeah, excellent.
Love it. Tim gets to choose the
No
bets.
doubt.
There you go. There's the full order finish there.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, I got to shout out Todd in the chat for the Anna Kozana reference in the last race, because that is one of my favorite horses to hear get called. Anna Kozana.
You nailed it.
And I never gets tired of hearing Kurt call
Matt,
Anna Kozana.
Matt,
So,
they're trying to make a simultaneous, right, for me and Kurt when he does it, because
I want to make
every time
absorb shorts, putting them back to back.
every time it can is that just waiting for Anna Kozana.
Yeah, I was saying before, there's just some of these horses' names that really stick out. That Kurt has such a unique announcing style. It's amazing.
Oh, he does. The syllable use he uses is like perfect. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it like,
Did you guys ever play like there's an old video
his
game
cadence.
that was like, it was like NFL Blitz or NHL Hits. He sounds like that announcer to me a little bit, like that old video game of like, pump every race is like so pumped up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
I tried to tell somebody the other day, they were like, they were asking me why I love Assiniboia so much. And I gave them about 5 different reasons in the first 20 seconds. And then I said, I love their announcer. And they said, oh, isn't that the guy who like screams? And I go, yeah, he's not trying to be Travis Stone. I go, listen, you want Travis Stone, then you watch, you can watch it. If you want Frank, you can get Frank, at Saratoga and Santa Anita. They're great. They're both great. This is a different vibe, and I'm here for this vibe. And if you're calling a race at Assiniboia Downs, quite frankly, I don't want Travis Stone calling Assiniboia Downs. I want Kurt calling Assiniboia Downs. So,
yes,
it's just, I want Travis at Churchill, and I want Kurt here. And so this all works out nicely.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
You need that kind of energy with a track like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
moving on to race 6. Sean, you're at the top of the screen, so we'll start with you. What are you thinking?
Okay. Matt and I always talk about this. The 20-1 on Drop a Caribou. It did not. It's 2-1 right now. The favorite. This horse never used blinkers, right, at all. So they claim this horse, and what do? They put blinkers on the horse 2 times in a row, and the horse. I don't want these things, right? Exactly. So they take the blinkers off today, and I think we're going to see the real Drop of Caribou tonight without the blinkers. Because if you look at his form with them, without them, he was stellar last year. So he's got Cumberbatch has gotten to kind of know him, hopefully without the blinkers. I think he's got speed when he's good. Tonight's been speed. And I think it's going to be very tough. So I'm going to be Drop a Caribou first in the 6th, and then I'm going 6, 2, 3.
Like it. Matthew, what were you thinking in here?
Yeah, I definitely took a long look at the number 1, Giacometti. I just don't know. That horse does seem to maybe prefer synthetic more, and just has not really run his best races on the dirt. The second back from a little bit of a layoff, and as you mentioned, Knights could absolutely show, kind of the similar tactic of getting this horse out in the lead. Definitely like Drop a Caribou quite a bit. Again, 20-1 was a pipe dream. You're not going to get that. 6-1 is fine at this point. But yeah, I ended up kind of taking a look. Obviously, I think you looked a little bit at High Press, but I'll be honest, I ended up kind of looking at Yola a little bit, and this was a horse that is at 5-1. I'm not against in this spot. I mean, stepped up to this level last time out and finished 3rd. I sometimes like betting a horse back second time at a level. A lot of times, the first attempt at that level, maybe it was just a learning experience, a little, tougher competition than they're used to. But this is a horse that had been, in really good form leading up to that race, and finished. It still ran a respectable 3rd. So I like Yola in this one a little bit, especially floating up from that morning line price. So at 5-1, I definitely like that price on that horse. But I do think, Drop a Caribou makes a lot of sense, especially if you do have those 4 horses, the 1, 2, 3, and 7 who really go out up front and get aggressive. Then presumably Drop a Caribou can sit right behind that and then go.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense in there. And yeah, that 20-1 was never happening. Keith, how about you?
Love
Works
it.
for stable duel though.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I was saying before in the free game, I mean, I'm sure this horse is probably the 5 is going to be used in stable duel. I would say, like, I don't know. I'm sure you guys probably have it there, at least 70%, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually I'm on the 3 here, high press. I really thought that this horse is in good form. You know, a lot of second place finishes, but if you read and I watched the replay on this horse, this horse faced My Noah, who's a pretty serious horse for Mike Taphorn, you know, at Assiniboia. So
Yeah.
I just thought, you know, the high press, you know, he dueled and he, dueled early and then kind of actually got into a second duel and then, you know, faced the 4 horse who just went by, who I think is a pretty serious horse, My Noah. So I thought high press is a horse to seriously consider here. And I know Matthew was just mentioning Yola. I've actually always liked this horse too. You know, the Whitehall stays aboard here, and you know, as far as actually, you know what, you get Chow now, which is interesting. I thought that was an interesting look. And then this horse is really hasn't done much wrong. You know, it was a 3rd place finish, yeah, as the favorite, but I thought the 2 had a look. So I was at 3-2-5 here, but I was pretty heavy on the 3. I thought this horse was looked pretty good on the PPs.
Yeah, the 3 made a lot of sense to me as well. I did I had been leaning toward the 4 over the 3, but the way the track has been playing, I'm wondering if the 4 might end up being a little bit further back than I necessarily like. But you made all of the points with the 3. I love the drop. I think that makes a lot of sense here with this horse who's been knocking at the door at the 10,000 level. I think 7,500 should be just fine. And then, but the 4, I just liked the horse coming into form here, doing well right now. Drop a Caribou. Y'all have talked about Drop a Caribou. So I was 4-3-5-1 in here. Tim, what were you thinking in this
formula
race?
checking in.
Well, I hope everybody's hungry because it's chow time.
Yola.
So, I really, Matt talked about this, but I really like Yola in this position. I think that this horse coming back at this level and getting Chow up. Chow last week was the first week that he rode, so he's starting to come back into his own. But I think that's a step up as far as jockey on this horse. I think Yola can handle these and has shown the ability to rate and win. Has done that a couple of different times. Actually, if you look at when the horse is on the lead, doesn't win as often as when he's rating a little bit. So I like Yola because there is a little bit more speed in here. So I think that there might be a bit of a speed duel. I'm totally fading the 3 in here, and I'll tell you why. And it's what I've been doing all year so far, and that is I'm fading Ronald Alley. He's just not riding like he did last year or the last couple of meets at Assiniboia. He's already had 1 horse that he was on that was a favorite tonight and didn't do anything with that horse. So we're going to fade him again. The horse I like underneath of the two horses, the 4 and the 6. And I went back and forth between the 2. The 4 might have a little bit too much to do on a speed favoring track, but if the speed backs up the way that it could in this race, the 4 could be right there. And the 6 is another horse who's going to be up there, possibly rating again. So I was 2 with 4-6, and I was going to basically play it that way, 2 with the 4 and the 6 is the way that I was looking at it.
Cool.
One of the things I'll mention just very quickly to follow up on one of Todd's points is to say, I'm sorry, one of Tim's points. I was looking at Todd in the chat, and then to follow up on one of Tim's points, also fading Jared Brown, quite frankly, has been kind of the move this meet. If people who have been playing Assiniboia a while. I mean, Jared Brown used to be like Chad Brown up here. I mean, Jared Brown used to win with Jorge Carreno like a 25.
I think he misses Jorge Carreño.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think he does too. He needs to go back down to New Mexico and get him. And and so that's one where I just that barn. I don't know. It's cold right now, and it's funny. You talk to people. It's funny how handicappers and people even in the industry sometimes can talk about things the same way. And I remember kind of being around someone one time, and it was at a steeplechase. Admittedly, it wasn't at a thoroughbred race, but I was at a steeplechase, and somebody said, when a barn goes cold, it's really hard to get winners. And this was like somebody pretty high up, and but it sounded just like a typical handicapper where you're like, I don't know, like Todd's not been winning a lot of races lately, and so I'm going to be fading fierceness, or something like that, and
right.
And it's but it really is like when a barn gets cold, man, they get cold, and I always think of like Brendan Walsh as kind of a classic example of this. Like when Brendan Walsh's barn doesn't win, it really doesn't win.
Right.
And when Brendan Walsh's barn wins, dear Lord, just bet every horse he puts out, because when he gets hot, it's nuclear. And so it's just like one of those things where, I'm with you, Tim. Like I think, I'm going to try to beat this 3. Maybe I end up looking foolish, but I'll try to beat it.
Yeah, and the opposite is true, just as you said, Matt. Like Cherie DeVoe right now, her barn is on fire, and they're winning with everything.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think when I recorded my show last week, she was 24% at the Churchill meet. Yeah.
Matt, you appreciate that. That's like my buddy Tom Morley. Like 2 years ago, as he said, I couldn't catch a cold at Saratoga. He said when you start slow, it's so hard to get going. He said, but last year, him and Javier were winning like everything together. So it's what rhythm you're on. It's amazing.
As we see another flash of lightning there, there are rumors that there might be a cancellation in our future.
That's the thing. I mean, they haven't put a notice on the feed, though, but I was a little concerned about it. I didn't want to say anything last race, but it was looking a little concerning, And
the fact that everyone's just kind of standing in the paddock right now
sure.
with 0 minutes on the clock.
In the $5 game, in the stable duel, I'm in first and second. In the free game, I'm sixth, and they're going to cancel the game. Sure.
I mean,
Tim's been winning too much lately.
I was trying to do the Matt DeSantis double from last week. I won second on Tuesday, and then he had to one up me and get first and second.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Exactly. Hold on. In all fairness, though, okay, they only have $20 left in their bank account because Tim's taking all their money. So they're probably like, okay, we can't do the last 2 races. Tim's going to take our last $20, and we have to cancel, and we'll use the rain as an excuse.
Oh man,
my mic is breaking up.
Interesting.
Breaking up.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, weird. Okay.
I will say my ADW account has crept up pretty nicely the last couple of weeks at Assiniboia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start betting what you're betting.
That's it.
Now I'm done.
I'm continually refreshing social media too to see if Assiniboia posts anything on the track, but it certainly is looking like there's going to be a bit of a delay, if nothing else.
At least a delay,
yeah.
I don't know if Kurt's talking or because usually they at least say something like delay or like lightning delay or something.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about that too. So
yeah, you usually have that on the screen.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, it's on a graph. Todd, I would love it if we got an extra. I would love it if we got an extra free ride on Stable Duel. If they cancel tonight, we'll see. I'll have to maybe text Bree about that. So see if I still have any pull.
Let's see.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Speaking of stable, only actually 27% of stables took drop a caribou,
You know, I
Will.
was going to
Surprised by
mention that when Keith was talking the numbers, I happened to look at it
I
a
was
few
saying
minutes ago,
70.
and I was actually shocked because I thought Keith would be right.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought it would be at least like 40%.
And Jessica, my
That's a
the
lot.
app's working again now, so that's good.
Oh,
I'm
good.
in
Yeah.
14th in the free one. Yeah, not bad.
All right.
There you go.
Room to catch up. Get in the money. If
Yeah. Yeah, if they continue the racing, that's the key right here. Yeah.
It
yeah.
was really pouring at that starting gate.
Mm-hmm. And the lightning is really the issue, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
saw a flash
last
a few
year.
minutes ago.
I want to say last year there was a race. Elusive Princess won up in Saratoga, won the Saratoga Derby, I believe. And I had a massive double
And ladies
with
and
Elusive
gentlemen,
Princess to Carl Spackler in the next race. And then there was lightning, and then they canceled. And then I was very sad. And I drove home soaking wet. But we do have a slight delay. So that,
into
you
the
know.
running of race number 6.
Gave us an update. Yep.
Still some optimism here.
Yeah, still some optimism. Yeah, well, I mean, apparently, yeah, I mean, listen, Assiniboia goes later than they usually should, so there's a good chance we're going past midnight with these races.
Woo!
So, yeah, one of those
There you
things. Although I will say the most
music.
the most surreal delay this entire year has been the Tampa Bay Derby delay.
Definitely.
Oh my
That
God!
was the weirdest delay.
And then to go off as a non-wagering event.
Nuts.
Oh, that hurt. Yeah.
Nuts. And I felt so bad for the track because it wasn't their fault.
Yep.
You know, and people are getting upset with Jason Beam and the different, and he's like, I'm just calling the race. Like, what do you mean to do?
Right.
It's it just
Tough spot for
that was
them.
just
Yeah.
so surreal. I mean, they were just standing there, just walking the horses in a circle for like, I swear, 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, they were just that was circling forever. It was such a weird circumstance. But
Now that was the toad. That was the toad thing that it affected
Yeah.
other tracks too. But then, Tampa got it pretty bad. Yeah, I think Santa Anita or somebody else got it. Yeah.
yeah, Santa Anita and Laurel got it as well because they're all on the same
Yeah.
toad system. So,
Oh, okay. Yep.
but it affected Tampa the worst because it was right at their signature race. Whereas I think Laurel had already finished for the day, maybe, and Santa Anita was just starting, and they just delayed their first race or something like that. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But just that was not fun. But
But I actually have a question for you. My dad wanted me to ask you this, right? What do you call it? With Belmont closed, right? I was wondering this. Can they move the stuff from Belmont up to Saratoga permanently until Belmont, like for the tote stuff? Or does it have to come from Aqueduct? Like I was just like in
terms of what? So like in terms of moving
like
what?
the machines, like the machines from Belmont. Could they move the machines from Belmont up to Saratoga like permanently until they come back? You know what I'm saying? And then the those are all new machines up there. They were nice for the Belmont, but
Yeah. So the machines that are at Saratoga are staying in Saratoga.
Okay, good. Okay.
But the machines, we have all new machines down in the city as well that are going to be moving from Aqueduct into the new Belmont. So we'll have all new machines there as well. But yeah, the ones in Saratoga stay in Saratoga.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
They were
Trust
nice.
me, just getting them to work is a miracle, let alone moving them and then trying to get them
there was
to
a
work.
couple,
So
yes.
Okay.
That was an interesting challenge on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great.
So we'll see.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of Nara, Dennis was wondering if it was the same synthetic as Turfway, and I think that I don't think Turfway is Tapeta, is it?
No, it's not. It's a poly. It's a different blend. But it'll be. I'd imagine it'll be closer to
Woodbine
Gulfstreams because it's Tapeta.
Yeah.
So, and one of the interesting things, and Barry Spears, who's really great, and honestly taught me a lot about handicapping Tapeta because he lives down in Florida and plays Gulfstream Park all the time. One of the things Barry always talked about is that Tapeta changes based upon temperature as much as anything else. And whereas we think about things like rain and weather, temperature plays a huge role. That the colder it gets, the tighter it plays, and the warmer it gets, the more it expands, and just favors different types of horses. And so temperature a lot of times is such an important element. And so that's something also to keep in mind. And he also says a lot of times Tapeta tracks, and this is true, I would even argue for dirt tracks, when they're new, they tend to maybe have a little bit of a bias, but the longer you run over them, the more honest and the more fair they get. So I think it's something where, you don't want to overreact too much to what you might see the first couple of months, although you should latch on to it. But that doesn't mean it's always going to be that way forever and ever. And you saw that with Gulfstream Park. I feel like the Tapeta has gotten more and more fair every single meet. So, that's just, something to keep in mind. So,
in tonight's
no, we got the winning ticket on the 50-50 draw. All right. Well, that's,
I thought he was making a track announcement.
Me too. And then I realized it wasn't. So
Yeah. So now I'll throw a question out to you guys as we're just kind of sitting here twiddling our thumbs a little bit. Yeah. We got Next running in the Brooklyn Stakes this week. And Next is, of course, the Superstar Dirt Marathon horse that I believe has won his last 3 races by a combined 48 lengths, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so he is the dominant horse at 1.5 miles. There's been a lot of talk about, should he cut back to 1.25 miles and maybe try to challenge some of the more classic division horses? The Brooklyn, which he's running this week, in which it's a really nice race because there's Crouppy, Mask Parade, and Drake's Passage in there. That race, because it's held at Aqueduct rather than Belmont, is at 1 3/8 miles. So it's a little bit shorter than it normally is. And I'm curious, and maybe I'm looking at Jess because I maybe you have a strong feeling about this one way or the other. Do you think Next takes a shot at 1.25 miles? And do you think he should kind of take a shot at 1.25 miles against some of these horses?
I'd love to see it just because of how dominant he's been lately. I feel like you kind of take a shot. I mean, why not is kind of my thought. I mean, you are just kind of picking up horses in these 1.5 miles plus races. But if he can be competitive in these same types of races at 1.25 miles, why not? You could pick up more purses that way. So, and I mean, he's a gelding, so you don't really have to think about anything except just how are we going to win races, keep him happy.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see it.
I think this Brooklyn's going to be a real big test because it's the shortest distance he's run since he's kind of entered this marathon division. And going 1 3/8 miles rather than 1.5 miles, I think could maybe give, Doug Cowens a little bit of a sense of, could he do 1.25 miles and be competitive against, a different caliber of horse, because you got a horse like Crouppy, who's like a really legit horse in this race. And, you have a horse like Drake's Passage, who's a promising horse that's got good speed. And, you got, Mask Parade, who at his best, could, has upset some pretty nice races as well. And so, I'm really, really excited for that. And Next is just such a cool horse. And, while it is fun to watch him win, and I've been there in person to watch him win at the Greenwood Cup last year at Parks, to win by 20 lengths. That was a blast. It's also fun to watch competitive horse racing. So like a part of me would love to see him kind of test himself a little bit against, King's Barnes or, whoever ends up running, and maybe in like the Jockey Gold Cup, at 1.25 miles or something like that.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see him end up in that kind of position where he can really be a force in the general handicap, quote unquote, division.
Yeah.
And yeah, And it's great for the Axeman.
On Machado, baby.
I love it.
I honestly, for one, would love to see him go back to a classic distance, because since he's gone to the marathons, as Matt said, in a mile and a half or longer, he's only lost one time. And when you go back and you look at, like, when he was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and lost a Essential Quality, I think it was, basically. I mean, that's the last real classic race, classic distance that he's run against that kind of company. And given the way that the horse is running, I mean, let's see it again. I mean, maybe you've got a horse that could compete at that level, at the highest level, against the best horses. And, you know, the way the horse is dominating the marathons right now, it's like, let's do something else. Let's make horse racing exciting. You know, that's the way I feel about it. But this one being a little bit shorter, I mean, maybe it'll entice them to go back a little bit more, hopefully, if the horse does well in that. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see it. Look, I'm all about having older horses and having stronger divisions in the classic races. I don't think we get enough of it like we used to. I was spoiled. You know, the way that I came up in horse racing and the races I remember watching, the older divisions, and now it's all about the breeding after the 3-year-old year. And I just wish we could get back to having some stronger competition at a lot of the classic races.
Yeah, the economics of it just aren't there, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. You can go ahead, Sean. Yeah.
I'm kind of on the, unfortunately, my poor boy Rocket kept getting the worst of it because he couldn't close into it at all, right? But Marconi used to just go to the front and just knock it back. And they kept trying to get Todd to shorten him up. He's like, no. He likes going long. He likes going to the front, and they don't catch him. You know what I'm saying? So he just kept running them at the big distances. Rocketry would try his darndest 20 lengths off and we never catch him because the pace is too slow. And so I think when you have like winners like that and they're just that much better, keep running the way you used to. You know what I'm saying? But I can see if they want to try cutting them back, but that dominated the classic, you know, why mess with it?
Unfortunately, I see them taking saddle cloths and saddles off of horses.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yep.
That's not a good sign.
We've got horses heading back to barns, which seems like they're not going to be racing.
Well, just let's say it together. It's sleepy time for the horses. It is
exactly.
There is no sleepy time pick because they're all going to bed.
Colin hit the all button. Yeah, Colin's got the all button. Yeah.
The one time Colin's awake for it. Is that
right?
Matt, tell Bree I want my money.
Yeah, at least give you some inside credit or something. Inside credit.
Listen, I'm going to head off, but I just wanted to thank you guys for having me on. I wanted to let everybody know in the chat. Awesome. I've seen the comments. Thank you so much for the just saying hi. So good to see everybody in the chat. Love seeing everybody when I pop into these things. We're launching a Naira Bets YouTube channel tomorrow.
Yes,
make sure to subscribe. Yeah. If you follow me on Twitter, you trust me, you won't miss it. There's going to be plenty of stuff about it. Handicapping tutorials, betting tutorials, race previews. I even broke out the big guns. I got Serling. I got Andy to come on and do a Brooklyn Stakes preview. I got Sarah to do the capping the card for Saturday at the Belmont Derby. I got John Dooley doing some stuff with the Indiana Derby. We got a lot of fun stuff going on in this very first week. So make sure to do that. And then look forward to having all of you on the channel at different points over the next few months as well. So very much so appreciate it. And wish everybody a pleasant evening. And I'll see you guys next Monday for sure. But maybe not. Next Monday, I'm actually moving from here up to Saratoga. So it's moving day. So we'll see if I can tune in on Monday night.
Hey, good luck, Matt. Congratulations on that.
Good luck, buddy.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us.
Good.
And I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning
Yeah,
in.
thank you,
all
everybody.
of you here for hanging out and talking racing. Unfortunately, night got cut a little bit short, but we'll be back next week. Same time, same place.
And well done,
we'll
guys.
try and make
We,
some more money.
we
We
made
ended up
money.
up
Yeah,
on the
we
night.
profited, you know.
Hey,
That's
we
it.
still got a $144 bankroll, so we still finished the night up. Let's see if we can keep the hot streak going. Keep coming back. Let's do it again next
Keep
week.
cashing.
Same time,
Yep.
same
All right.
channel.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Thank
have
you,
a
everybody.
And
great
then we'll
night.
see
Make
on
sure you
Thursday.
subscribe to the channel. Yes, and make sure you hop into the lounge this Thursday with Sean, and we'll see you all
And-
next
yeah.
time.
Only
Take
winners.
care now.